Pero malabo, garbled. Sapaw natin siya.
Fifteen. Wala yan. Pahingahin mo ng 10 seconds bago magano. Hindi ko ma-share yung link.
Welcome to the live coverage of the Asia Poker Championship, coming to you from the Metro Card Club, the home of Philippine poker champions, in collaboration with KMGM, the Korean Mind Game Members Group. We are your shoutcasters this afternoon. My name is Chester Tira Pasok Intia, together with Ron, the coach Regis. Magandang hapon sa'yo,
Oh,
coach.
magandang hapon. Very good to be broadcasting live, number one, and number two, at a sane time. No?
Mhm.
Yung oras na gising at
Oh,
maraming makapagsubaybay at makapag-comment sa mga
oo.
pangyayari dito.
Oo.
Big event. Biggest of the year. Dali sabihin,
Yes.
biggest in the last 2 years? Pwede.
Definitely, pwede rin.
Oo.
Kasi galing tayo sa LAL, eh, no? Okay.
Oo.
So, Coach, bigyan lang natin sila ng update. This is day 3 of the main event of the Asia Poker Championships. This field that you are seeing now, the featured table. We are down to the last two tables actually, with 8 players seated in each table. And this field actually started with 35 players. If you remember, natapos tayo kagabi sa
Oo, kagabi
35
35.
players.
We ran a test broadcast, played down to 35. That was end of level 21. Ngayon, nagsimula na ito kanina. So the 35, hindi pa to final table para malinaw lang. The
Yes.
35 is down to 16, two tables of 8. So itong featured table is half of that. Ayan, makinig muna tayo. Introduce ni TD Brian itong ating featured table.
Oo.
Bire mo, Metro bring out the big guns.
Yeah, oo.
Brian Malantik.
Bihira lumutang to, no?
Nilalabas lang pag ganito.
Yes. So as you see there, we are now this particular
Ayan, pinapakilala na.
list is being introduced now by Brian. We hope that they can hear it, yung mga nanonood sa atin sa live stream.
Medyo siguro the big names here pare si Bimbi in seat 2. Siya yata ang lowest stock no,
Yeah.
503,000. And then sa seat 8 si Hot Sauce. Yun, tapos yung
Mm.
seat 6, pag sinasabi yung pangalan, akala ko ako kasi Ronald Ryan din ang pangalan ko eh.
Ron Ryan
May sasabing
Mesina.
Ron Ryan, napapatingin ako.
Oo. And of course, si Maxwell Bimbi Rosetes he is the
Mainit.
latest
No.
uh, uh, Metro Card Club
Oo.
champion. Oo. Kakabink lang niya nung was that the Philippine Poker Tour? Yes,
Alam mo,
it's the
parang
Philippine Poker Tour.
tumatanda na talaga tayo sa poker kasi nakikita na natin ang mga possible next gen eh.
Yeah,
'Di
oo,
ba?
eto
Dumaan
na
na
to, the
tayo
new
sa
breed.
dynasty of dominance ng Big Three na si Mark
Pinag-usapan
Rivera,
natin
si Choque,
kagabi.
at saka si
Oo. Mark
si
Lester Edo.
oo, ngayon parang nagkaka-hint na tayo who's next.
Mm. Eto, lumabas na yung I'm just gonna try and share this live stream para makaabot sa mas maraming mga pokerista.
Oo, so note no, para sa mga nanonood at medyo ulit-ulitin natin 'to. Yes, this is a live coverage pero for the benefit of the security of the game, makikita nyo to delayed na. 10 minutes delayed pero walang big deal yon because pare, saan ba tayo nanggaling?
Oo, oo.
Nanggaling tayo sa naghihintay sa isang website habang si Trisha David ay
Ay,
mag-a-upload
na-update,
ng
oo.
hand at magta-type ng pangyayari.
Yung wala kang ibang gawin kundi mag-refresh ng
Oo,
mag-refresh.
so
Browser.
indahin nyo na, 10 minutes is nothing
Yeah,
compared to
oo.
saan tayo galing. So
Oo.
Metro is taking us to this next step of
Yes.
how to enjoy tourneys kahit out ka na o kahit di ka nakasali para
Mm.
mas marami pa makasuporta. And we would love it if you share this link all
Yes.
over the place kasi hindi lang para sa Metro to. Pag shinare nyo to, remember, lahat tayo nag-poke. Ewan ko pero most of us nag-poker dahil napanood natin at
Mm.
na-entertain natin yung thoughts sa utak natin na, parang madali lang yan. Diba?
Tama,
So
tama.
yun, share nyo tong link na to para kumalat uli ang mentality na yan at sila ang bubuhay sa next wave na ating industriya. This thing
Oo.
has to keep rolling. Hindi maraming magagraduate from poker. We have to keep the interest alive. And there's
Yes,
nothing more
definitely.
interesting than a casual viewer watching this from home kahit makakita lang siya ng konting highlights. And especially dahil Metro has the technology here para pakita yung mga whole cards as you watch.
Ayan. Okay. Meron tayong buena manong tanong at comments sa ating live stream from Dran Areb. Final table na po ba ito? It is not. We are currently down to the final two tables, the last two
Yan.
tables of the tournament. Last 16 players. And what you are watching right now is the featured table na about to start pa lang, no? Nag-aabang kasi pinakikilala yan ng ating uh, host na si Mr. Brian Malantik.
Oo, at saka sinetla yung mga ground rules. No cell phones, and then they clear the area. Yun nga na-mention, no? Yes, semi-live to, 10-minute delay. Again, para sa mga kasing edad ko, naalala nyo, nanood pa tayo ng PBA via satellite, live via satellite, pero actually delayed ng ilang oras. Ito, 10
Mm.
minutes lang para lang maiwasan yung any of chance na may sumubok na mga katarantaduhan
Oo,
no?
oo.
By watching the live and then
Yes.
attempting to signal their friends. Hindi mangyayari yan. This is a very
Yeah,
secure environment.
that's correct.
You
Oh.
can see from this wide shot, nobody close, no? Kung meron mang gagawa ng kalokohan, it can only be si DJ Roberto. Nakakita niyo paikot-ikot
Nakikita
dyan.
nyo at si Maverick Arceo na
Oo.
ating official photographer of the event plus also that official photographer from the side of our Korean friends, the KMGM group. Yan. All
Okay,
right.
so wide shot lang ito nakakita nyo ngayon. Pero mamaya papasok tayo dyan. We're gonna see all the angles. We're gonna go player to player. You're gonna see the flop. So hindi ito yung mga sinaunang attempts natin mag-live noon na parang CCTV lang na kinomentan.
Oo.
This is a work in progress and it's gonna get much better. Pero nandito na ang inumpisa na ng Metro.
Mm. Coach, mabanggit natin, no, para din for everyone's appreciation, itong last 16 players na to, in terms of payout, they are already guaranteed 200,000.
So 16th is ano?
200,000. Ang
Okay.
next pay jump ay mangyayari after player, the 14th player
So,
bust out.
so basically 14 to 16,
Yes,
200,
yes, that's
200K
correct.
yan.
Oo.
Oo, and then pay jump sa 13.
Yeah,
Sige,
sa tier
babantayan natin
13.
yan kasi
Oo.
these are crucial decisions. Minsan, kung
That's
makikipag-flip ka
correct.
o hindi.
Oo.
And the pay jump is, as it gets bigger, folding becomes so much more
Mm.
equitable.
Eto na, action is underway.
Ayan, kita nyo yung whole cards. Yan ay lalabas pag action na nila. So action ngayon kay Daehan Wee, pinta siya and we see the whole card. Yon, mabilis na tinapon.
Mabilis na tinapon kasi 10-3 offsuit eh.
10-3 offsuit.
Wala akong pakialam dito sa hand na to.
Oo.
Ayokong ano.
Oo.
Okay.
Yun, na-delay ta kay Lee Shock yung
Oo.
si Tiger,
Si Lee Shock Young actually, si Lee Shock Young actually is
aka.
more popularly known as Tiger. He is actually the top guy for the Korean the KMGM group. And aptly enough, he is still alive and in contention
Okay,
in
teka,
this main
Ryan
event.
Mesinas already made an action. Nag-race yan, hijack. At hijack din ang
Hijack,
galawan.
oo, with this well
This is one of the hands na lagi akong getting in trouble kasi I love it. I love this hand. 9-7 suited.
and you can expect this range of hand na pwedeng erase talaga nito ni Ryan Messina,
Oh, well,
ni Ron
he's the
Messina. Oo.
chip leader at this table, barely, no? Just 300K above si Huyot Kim, who is next with 2.1 million.
Mm.
The rest are in the 1 million area. And okay, he's gonna get a call here, and he does. So call si Huyot
Oo, si
Kim.
Huyop Kim ba? Banggaan to ng dalawang malaking stack sa mesa.
Ito ang ayaw mo mangyari. Well, yan muna. Ayan. This board favors the C
This,
better.
yes. Although a flop that can equally be represented by the small blind defending, although this is a race spot, so it would depend kung may previous background si Ryan Messina dito sa kanyang kalaban.
Dati, yung mga old school na turuan, this board is one of those boards na hindi sinisibetan
Oo.
kasi walang maniniwala.
Mm.
So, yun lang, an overpair can bet on this board.
Oo. Plus, pero nasa
Yeah.
new school na tayo ng poker daw. Ayan.
Oo, kaya nga
Di,
excited ako na
oo.
ginagawa to ng Metro because there is so much now going on. Although you see five outer si
Mm.
Ron Ryan Messina.
Ayan, kumol si Huyop Kim doon sa Sibet. Hindi siya naniniwala.
Yeah, nga. So again,
Oo.
argument. Yan, that's a good card for Ron Ryan Messina.
Yes,
Definitely a
definitely.
second battle card. Di ka
Oo.
naniwala kanina na overpair ako. Baka maniwala kang ace
That's
X ako.
correct. Because this is a
Yeah, this is pretty
race
bad for
spot
Hu
at
Yup
sea.
Kim if he wants to get
Oo.
out of this spot. Nagagawa siya ng galaw. Otherwise, it's gonna be a check fold. Hindi na
Right,
pwedeng
right.
kumulang king high dito.
Oo.
Yun yung call kasi ni Hu Yup Kim represents like a small pair, 'di ba?
Yes,
Kumula ko, hindi ka
oo.
naniniwala tumama ka. Well, how about now?
That's correct.
Ayun.
And Ron
This
Messina
is gonna
fires
work. This is gonna
180.
work.
Yan.
Oo.
Yun na nga, doon na, napakabilis.
Ganda ng turn
Oo,
card
ganda
because
ng turn card. Oh,
pag
pabor.
nag-break ulit yon, it's gonna go check check.
Mm.
And then Hu Yup Kim can do something, lead out the river or ano.
Mm. Mamaya na magkakamot ng ulo si Huyop Kim pagkatapos pag napanood na niya tong ano na to, tong live stream na to.
So again, once again, wala namang mga cellphone sa mga player dito. So even though 10-minute delay tayo, after 10 minutes, kung may mag-text sa kanya na
Wala
naulol
na.
ka, hindi niya rin makukuha yung message.
Oo, wala na. Oo. Ayan, actually, after nung ating live stream kagabi, maraming nagpadala ng message sa akin ng mga players na na-feature natin.
Oo.
Some of them nagre-reklamo. Parang sabi ko, we're just depending on the information that we see on our screen. Kasi kagabi nagkaroon ng glitch tayo sa chip count, no?
Oo.
So
This is
there
a
are...
learning curve. Basically, binasa na 500 yung mga chips pero 1,000. So kalahati lahat. And then there was a bit of snafu, a bit of a learning there na
Yes.
we were configured, nag-configure itong automatic tong nagbabasa ng mga chip count. Naka-configure na mag-ante.
Mag-ante.
Pero BB-ante
Pero
tayo.
BB-ante
Actually, BB-ante pa rin tayo ngayon hanggang final table.
That is correct.
Final
That is
table lang
correct.
ito magbabago. So they've just done the reconfiguring. And another adjustment we made is instead of us commenting live na nadidelay tayo response sa comments,
Mm.
is we are commenting on the delayed feed that you are seeing. So
Oo.
sabay na tayo
Sabay na
nanonood.
tayo. Sabay yung, ang napapanood nyo, ladies and gentlemen, kayong mga nanonood ng live stream na to, is the same action that we are watching right now also
Oo,
on our monitor.
oo.
So, mas timing na yung mga comments ninyo, mas madali
Yeah.
naming mababasa. Katulad
Lag
yan.
na lang ang delay na natitira.
Oo.
Kagabi kasi, by the time kumoment kayo, 15 minutes ago na namin nasagot eh.
Oo.
So
Eto,
ngayon,
live na katulad nito. Sabi ni Cedric Santos, go Mike Takayama. Yung Mike Takayama is still very much alive dito sa ating day 3. Justin Philip Belaniso from Cebuto. Good PM, Sir Jester and Coach Ron. Good job. Go, go, go. Sir Bimbi, watching from Cebu. More
Bimbi,
power
yeah.
to MetroCard Club and congrats APC.
Salamat. At
Linjoy Roble from Australia to. Good day, mate. All the way from Australia. Ayun.
Teka, plus 4 hours sa kanila eh. O sige, plus 2 lang ba?
Two lang. Oo. So, ito, Enzo Arceo, ito, nasa ano naman to, Vietnam. How are you in the Philippines? Enzo, tumigil ka na.
Yabang nito.
Oo,
Kala mo,
puro
taga ron
ano,
na eh.
oo.
Uuwi ka rin, ulul.
Oo. Gary Ku, Jurain Aguilion, ayan. Ayan. Jano Alvarez, shout out, Lodi Coach and Jester.
Ito,
Ayan.
matindi action ito. Look at that board.
Wow!
You got hot
Oh my
sauce with the
God.
top end of the straight.
And
Ito, nasa soccer end naman si
Dayan
Dayan Wee.
Wow. What a board
We'll
for
see.
these
I mean,
two players.
experience will dictate na makakatapon yan. Yung
Yes.
lower straight. Ay, all in ang galaw.
What a
Oo,
move from
kasi
Hot.
tinayaan siya ng
Oo.
tinayaan siya ng, ayan, kita niyo yung action. Ganda nitong coverage natin. Kita mo yung pre-flop and turn
Oo.
action, no? Bet 250
Uy!
kinol. Hindi siya
Kukol!
naniwala na may
Hindi
gist.
naniwala. Yun, napayuko na lang siya
Sabi
nung makita
ko,
niya yung gist ni...
it takes experience, significant experience to
Wow.
fold the soccer straight. Pero it's called the soccer straight for a reason.
For a reason, that's correct.
Oo.
Buti nga, mas maganda pa yung term mo, soccer straight. Sa iba, ang tawag dito, idiots end eh. Di ba?
Oo. there's two ways, neither of them flattering.
Yeah.
Hindi na ibaba. I mean,
Wow, oo.
this is also maybe a testament sa image ni Hot Sauce na gagamitin niya lang yung board.
Pero si Daehan Wee, hindi siya kanin to well,
Yeah,
there you go.
he can only chop. That's all he can do
That's
here.
yes.
Yeah, kahit
Yeah.
mag-trips pa siya, he can only
Uh,
chop. So chop or out.
so we have our first casualty from the featured table, Daehan Wee,
Yeah.
who started this table with 1 million. He is now saying
Oh my
goodbye to
God, na
day 3 of
hanep
this
ano,
main event.
for him to bet
1 million.
250K,
Wow.
which is,
Oh,
leaving him with 700 odd
that's
chips.
correct.
At
Oh.
napapasok ni Hot Sauce lahat yun.
Alam mo, coach,
Who
sabi nga
does that?
nila, while it is a skill to know when to fold, like to fold big hands,
Oh.
it is equally a skill to maximize,
Huwag yung
di
magpasabit
ba,
ka
a
ng
hand.
ganun, di
Oh, yung
ba?
ganyan, di ba?
He didn't get cute eh. A lot of players will get cute.
Oo,
250,
oo,
click raise ko, 500. Takot eh. I just wanna
oo.
get that extra 250. Hot Sauce went for it and he got paid in full. So,
So, napakaganda nung kanyang galaw at read sa kanyang kalaban, nababayaran talaga
Oo,
yung kanyang
he has to
shove.
know,
No?
babayaran ako nito. Di
Oo.
ba? And what he got to lose to? 10 jack? Di ba?
Siguro iniisip
Hindi
ni Hatsos
isipin.
parang hindi na to magbabayad. So, Hail Mary na lang, bahala na. Shove ko na lang to.
Oh.
Nagkataon talagang hindi siya pinaniwalaan, no?
Oo, pero grabe, that straight was so bad that you would have preferred to have two pair.
Yes.
Dahil meron
May
ka pang,
outs ka pa.
mag-i-improve
Oh,
ka
that's
pa.
correct. Oh. Actually, kung nag-pair yung board, kung hindi ganun na naging texture, he would have rivered a full house kasi nag-trips yung
Ay, hindi na
kanyang
mag-straight
size.
si Hotsos kung
Hindi naman
nag-turn
niya
board.
makukuhaan si
He
Hatsos
needed
doon.
every card from
That's
flop to
correct.
turn.
Oh. So ito interesting to note, coach. Si Hot Sauce, short stack yan. Nasa featured table din natin yan kagabi.
Oo, kagabi.
Short stack yan. At one point, he was all in for his tournament life. And now, he has over 2
Oo,
million
and
in
he had to
chips.
suffer a back and forth with Putoy. 'Di ba? Lumaki
Yes,
siya pero nakuha sa kanya ni
nakuhaan
Putoy and
siya.
he ended the night around 300
That's
lang.
correct. It's a testament to how good a player Richard Marquez is. Hindi naman to basta-basta. Remember, this is a past RVS champion.
Ano pa ha? PPWC.
PPWC pa. So, ang dami
Celebrity
na ng
Poker Tourney. Ang dami na
ang dami
pinanalo
ng
nito.
laurels itong taong to. So, you won't get rid of him easily.
Ayan, we can hear TD Bryan announcing something that we will also expound on. High roller event,
Oo.
3 p.m. today. It's a side event, 110K buy-in. And what an opportunity for our local pros. Alala ko nun, no? Remember that time nag-cover tayo? Nanalo si Kid. Tapos
Oo.
sumali na high roller
Tumakbo
event.
siya. Oo.
Nanalo din.
Nanalo.
In the
Chinampion niya
same
all
day.
in one day. Oh my God. Naalala ko na naman yan. Of
Okay.
course, si Kid na pinag-uusapan natin is Noel Araniel, who is actually the defending champion of this event. The very first
Last time we covered
Asia
APC,
Poker
no?
Championship. Oo,
Inuwi
APC.
to ni Kid and just like today, no? Yung final table at that time kasabay nung high roller side event. As
Yes.
soon as it finished, he went in.
Oo, humabol siya.
Kaya sinasabi, the Metro Card Club, the home of Philippine Poker Champions.
Which is a
Two
very
trophies in one day.
Oo.
Diyos ko.
So there you go. Actually, yan yung side event natin mamayang hapon. One of the most awaited side event. Maraming interesadong sumali dyan, lalo na yung ating mga
Actually,
the
umpisa
more
na, no?
accomplished,
Kasi 3, lampas 3 o'clock na pala, 3 p.m. So, habol-habol. Kung may hahabol dyan, siguro baka yun din iniisip nito ni sino bang kaka-out ni Daehan Wee, di ba? May
Oo.
high roller event, nagsimula na. So, tinabla niya na yung kanyang stock dito.
Oo. Ito, bigyan natin habang we are watching the action between Lee Seok Young, aka Tiger, and Huyup Kim. Sino ba nag-open nito?
I
It's
love this.
Huyup
I
Kim
love this
actually
coverage,
raised.
man. Look at that on the lower left of your screen. Ha? In case you missed it, pre-flop, raise to 120, call the extra 70. Andyan tayo.
You can review the action prior to the current one.
Oo,
No?
sa mga sanay sa online, kahit di nyo na-click yung hand review button,
Nandyan
nandyan na,
na, oo.
nandyan na.
Ayun.
Okay, 2-5 queen, bet 90K, and that's the end of it.
Huyup Kim successfully
King Jack tapon.
took down that pot. So there you can see our current chip count of this final table. You see Richard Marquez with that big uh, hole, big hole ng
Na-shoot
chips.
niya
no?
yung
From-
1 million ni
Yes,
Daehan Wee.
Ni Daehan Wee.
What a dream scenario na mabayaran ka ng lower straight.
Oo.
on a four card
Diba?
straight sa board.
Oo, no?
Usually mga tago, 'di ba? 2 3 4 yung nasa baba.
That's,
Ace 5
oh.
bayaran ng 5 6.
Mm.
Pero ito apat eh.
Very effective pa rin pala ba yung ishab mo na parang binablab mo na parang tinatawag.
Oo,
Siguro you
kasi
play to
kung
his ego, syabang kita.
loko-loko ka,
Oo.
gagamitin mo yung board, ha?
Minsan ang tawag natin mga Pinoy doon, yung di bali ng ma-out, wag lang
Huwag lang
ma-bluff.
mamama. Huwag
Oo,
lang
di
out, huwag
bali
lang
ng
mabluff.
ma-out, wag lang ma-bluff, no? So
Oo.
nilagay niya sa bluff si Hot Sauce doon.
Lupit. Okay, we have action on Ginbert de Villa. 50k to call dahil ang blinds natin 25k, 50k at dahil BB ante tayo, may 50k pa na extra na binayaran ng big blind sa gitna. So Ginbert de
Mm.
Villa has a racing hand. Ah, yan, review natin. Yung blue chips, ang ganda ng coverage, ang linaw ng chips. Dati, alala ko, nahihilo pa ako magkakulay yung blue at saka yung gray. Ngayon, kitang-kita mo yung definition. The blue chips are 1,000, the gray chips are 10,000, and the pink chips are 50,000.
Okay, and we have a comment here from Mason Tran. He said he's asking, he is requesting for us to speak English, please. Okay, Mason, we will this coverage is both for the benefit of our
All right,
foreign
all right. No,
viewers and our locals. So we will shift from English to Filipino every now and then. So don't
thank you
worry.
for the comment, Mason, and for making your presence felt. Now that we know we have an international audience tuned in right now, we're going to favor English, although, like uh, my friend here, Tira Pasok, just said, we will be switching some time to
To
time, but
Filipino.
it will be just when we get really emotional. So you will get the context, even
Yeah,
though we
yes,
may
yes.
not be in English. When we do switch to Tagalog or Filipino, the context will be obvious.
All right. So, and we have to read the comments in Filipino also as they are being sent by our local viewers also. Like Tokain Marasia, J. Leonardo, shout out to you.
Oh,
Okay, and wait.
Bimby all in. Bimby's all in with pocket tens, as you are wont to do when you have the short stack. He started at 503,000. He blinded out a little bit, and now he's pushed in his remaining 378 from the cutoff. The hijack, no? There
Yeah.
was a race. Remember, Ginbert de Villa race with Ace Jack.
Yes.
Huyup Kim was trying to see a flop in position with Jack 10 suited, but then surprise in the cutoff. Sunod-sunod ito.
Yeah.
And the big blind, well, he had the hand that would have liked to see a flop four-way if it
No,
just
but
went call, call, call.
right. But with
So,
this action, that's an automatic fold from Edgar Asian holding an ace suited
it
card.
would
So
have been,
action is back now to Ginbert de
it
Villa, the
would have been a
original
call. He
racer.
would have been able to close the
Yes.
betting, but that's not what Bimbi, si Maxwell Rosette had other things in mind. But the
Yes.
thing is, does this look like a steal? Because Ginbert de Villa, I would say only in quotation marks, no, he only has ace jack.
Yes.
So he's thinking, well, I could be flipping as long as I have two
That's
overcards, but
correct.
I don't want to get flipping against ace queen or ace
Against a
king.
dominating hand like
Yes.
an ace queen and an ace king.
Right.
So that's what's probably in his mind right now as he tanks whether to call or give up this hand.
Right, also in this situation, you don't want to call and then have that guy in the hijack with 2 million go over the top
That's
and na
correct.
dead money your extra 263k is just gonna be sitting there as a bonus.
And remember, he has also to think what does Huyup Kim have calling a race spot. So he's thinking, is my ace still live if this is the only overcard I have?
I think he might feel like a little okay if it was just against Huyup Kim because just calling over him in position
Right.
could be a hand that's speculative, but the move here by Bimby and the fact that he's
And
squeezed
there you
between him and
go.
Huyup Kim,
There you
yeah,
go.
it makes him
Jinbert de
have to fold.
Villa letting go of his ace jack offsuit. Action now shifts to
Oh
Huyup
yeah, we
Kim.
see.
Did he
That's
make the call?
yeah, he really
Okay.
like we were talking about last night. This hand Jack 10 suited, it does great in flips versus lower
Yes.
pocket pairs because it has all the straights and the flushes and the fact that they're overcards.
And he wouldn't like that his 10 is no longer probably in play.
This is not one of those pocket pairs
Yes.
that a Jack 10 is ahead of. It's got to be sevens below if he's gonna be
Yeah.
ahead.
Flop is king high, two sevens. Bimby looking good with his hand. Three, only a jack can
Yep,
save Huyup
only
Kim
only one out
here.
because a couple of jacks have
Yeah,
been
we're
folded.
folded. And then
That's
Jinbert de Villa is probably
he's hitting his head.
kicking
Why
himself.
didn't I isolate?
Yeah, there you go. So a much needed double up for Maxwell Rosette with
Well,
his pocket
you really can't
tens.
regret after seeing the river because at the time he folded ace jack, it did not look very good.
That's correct. In fact, if this was just a call and they see a flop, he would have probably let go of his ace jack in the flop because he didn't hit anything.
Yeah, he might not make
So
that
that's a big
river.
question whether he would be able to still see the river. So with that, Maxwell Rosette jumped to a much higher ladder instead of being the player with the least chips earlier
Good
on.
timing
Yeah.
for our one of our local champions to pick up a hand and get paid.
Yes. All right. We're just gonna read some comments in our live stream, Coach, because we really wanna involve our viewers here. Kane Marasigan, magandang hapon, Idol Tira Pasok, and Coach, pa-shout out.
Shout out.
Ralph Marquez, May, there you go. Jano Alvarez, Sleeping Man, go. Hotdog and Bimbi Man. Ayan, kakadouble pa lang ni Bimbi Man. All right, here we go. Uh,
A
what from
question,
Mason
yeah.
Tran? What time is the high roller? Can I still go there now?
Yeah, I believe they have late registration. It started at 3. We're just a little bit past 3, so traffic's not that bad. If you're in Metro Manila, you're gonna make it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, JM Legaspi, shout out.
Linjoy Roble, English please, ha?
JM Legaspi, shout out to all members of Pilipinas Poker, Kuya Ron, Juster, and DJ, Tito Bobby, and Kuya Randy. Deneric Remando, Boss Balot, Boss PJ, Boss DJ, yan. Okay, and
Okay,
we have
Bimbi
Senator
is back in
DJ
the pot, ha?
Reperto.
Balikan natin yung comments after a
Yeah,
bit.
all right.
60K because the blinds have gone up. It looks like he raised. No, that's a flat call, no?
Yeah,
I see a pink chip and a gray chip. So it was 60K to call. He raised to 100. It was two pink chips, sorry. And that is a raising hand. Ace 10 of hearts. The blinds have just gone up 30K, 60K. He's raising from the cutoff. He's coming off a double up.
yeah.
So
Might as well ride on the crest of that.
yeah, and
Ano.
this is a bit of a heat check, but that's actually a raising hand in a raising position.
That's
It was
correct.
folded to
Yes.
him. So why not? Uh,
So
I
we
I
have
think maybe the blinds. It's kind of strange that the graphic says raise to 100 if the blind is 60K. So I'm not
yeah,
quite sure that's
maybe
correct. And
120.
no, and plus what I thought I saw him just put in
Maybe
60K.
right.
So we'll see. But the thing is, he is in the hand and 40K to call. How is that possible? Diba?
Yeah,
That's not possible. So there's a bit of a glitch, but
yeah.
we'll figure out. That's why we're also watching live, and you can see the definition of the coverage. You can see the chips and the colors of the chips.
So there's already action. I think this is a
Yeah,
heads-up action between Maxwell Rosette and
there's
Ron
already a
Messina.
flop, so we're a bit delayed on seeing the
Yeah.
flop here because there was a call and he's now bet 80,000. I think he has checked.
There's you.
There,
There you go. There's the flop.
yeah, it's he cannot have raised 100K because the blinds are 60K. It must have been 120. But then there's a
Yes.
flop, and you can see that it's a king high flop, and I think we saw a check. It's a check call or a check raise.
I let's we will have to wait a couple of seconds to
I do
see.
know the flop bet was 80,000 because I heard the dealer say it.
Yeah, that's correct.
But I know that the pre-flop could not have been 100K. I think he limped it
Okay, there
because
you
that's what I
go.
saw was he put in a pink chip and a gray chip.
Okay. So
So
there you
because
go.
he wouldn't bet 80K if it was a raise spot and there would be like more than 200
Yes, that's
inside of it.
correct.
So it feels like he limped it in and they saw the flop and now he's bet there's a bet and a call. It was
Yeah.
check call was the line for Ron Ryan Messina. He checks again, another brickish card, but it does complete the draw.
Yes. But
Uh,
important to note that Ron Messina actually flopped two pairs here, but it's the bottom two.
mhm.
So let's see. But he is
Very
the
smooth check call. Huh?
yeah, but he's the aggressive one right now. He's Bimbi is just check calling him.
No, Bimbi is out of position. Bimbi is in position, so
Yeah,
Ron Ryan check called on the flop, and I think on the turn,
he led out.
yeah, Bimbi had shut down, and Ron Ryan is just gonna try to get value now. He has two pairs and the highest flush draw possible if you're playing Pusoy Dos.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing for Bimbi to do here. He only has a gut shot and there's nothing good. I think
And
checking
yeah,
the
true
turn he had
enough, he
shut
let
down.
go of his sand
He
already.
shut
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
So that was the end of the heat check. He
Mhm.
did double up and took a shot at that. we'll sort out these technical issues, but we'll just pay closer attention to what the players actually throw in.
Yeah. Okay. If you have just joined this live stream, you are watching the featured table of the Asia Poker Championship happening here at the Metro Card Club in Ortigas. This is in collaboration with KMGM. And this is a 20 million guaranteed event. You are joining us, Tira Pasok and Coach Ron, bringing to you the action as it unfolds here at the Metro Card Club.
That's right. This is the APC main event 3 days later from over 500, I think like 543 entries. We played down to 35 last night, and
Yes,
today we're down to,
the
well, we
last
started at
15.
16, but
Ah,
we just
yes,
lost
that's correct.
one. I don't know if we lost another on the other table. We'll get updates on that. But definitely, at most, we have 15 players left. We're going to play down to the final table, and then we'll finish this off tomorrow. So today, we're going to play down to the final eight.
Yes,
So pay jump happens at 13. Right now, 14th to 16th, they all get
200.
200K.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, and we go back to these fight your table action as we
Yeah, yeah,
see
that's not a string
Lee
bet.
Shock Tiger
If you didn't hear him say all in, you would say that's a string bet.
in
It's
his
not. He
action.
had said
Yeah,
all
that
in.
he said all in. He has and he has sitting on pocket eights.
Pretty big
Yeah,
shove, but it's under 10 BBs.
yeah. And he's gonna take down the spot now. Callers from the blinds.
Yeah, nobody had a hand to
Uh,
call with. Not 500K.
yeah. Okay. Tiger is actually as we have mentioned earlier, he's the top guy for this Korean group that is collaborating with Metro Card Club to bring into reality this 20 million guaranteed Asia Poker Championship.
Yep, that's one of the main people to thank for making this happen. A great collaboration between him, his group, and Metro. They did it pre-pandemic, and it's really glad for us that they're just staying on this as if nothing happened. And huge event, huge guarantee that they smashed it. So the guarantee doesn't even matter anymore because they've gone over the guarantee. More than 21 million, almost 22 million in the pot. 6 million, cool. 6 million going to first. And right now there's about 15 players left.
Yeah, also, Coach, we would like to give credit and shout outs to the Metro Team Pro who has been very active, led by Chief the GOAT, no, Mark Rivera. Has been very active, helping, coordinating, and participating in this 20 million guaranteed event. Yeah. Shout out to the Metro Team Pro, and some of them we will be talking with
Yes,
later,
hopefully
interviewing
some of
them.
them can drop by every now and then. Like last night, we had the chief himself and we had Lester
Lester
Eddock drop
Edo.
by. Anytime one of them shows up, I give up my seat so that you can hear from these guys. Super cool symbiotic relationship between this Team Pro and Metro. They learn the game here, they gain their success here, and then after they gain their success, Metro supports them.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we are looking at another shove from Maxwell
Woo!
Rosette. This is a three bet shove coming from
Whoa.
the over the race of Hugh Yup Kim, who opened for 120K, raising 120,000,
Yeah,
and
I
to
think he can
be
get away
yeah,
from this because that five is not winning in many flips.
yeah.
So he's really only counting on drawing, and you don't want to draw for all your chips. And with a strong range that BMB has shown. Last time he shoved, they saw pocket 10. So even if you put him on a pocket 10ish hand,
And I think
you
the
only
guy
get
who
a three or
doubled him
four.
up also was Hu Yup Kim
Ah,
earlier,
no,
no?
no, he busted. It was it
Yeah,
Huyop Kim? It was. So
it was Hu Yup Kim, no? 10 Jack actually,
yeah,
10
yeah.
Jack.
So he loves these suited hands, but
Yeah,
this one he doesn't love it enough because malaki na.
malaki na, masakit na eh, no?
That's gonna hurt. He
Yes.
doubled him up when it had something like 300-ish. It was worth taking a shot, and he did have a hand that performed better against pocket pairs than Ace 5.
Yeah. So
Success.
another chunk of chips going Bimbi's direction.
Very nice that he drags along a race with it. Because
That's correct.
sometimes you want to race because you have to race, but if no one has raced before you, you're just winning a small blind and a couple of big blinds. So
Let me just read the comment here from Tom Perez. Mga idol, talagang hindi nagsho-show yung cards pag nag-iisip ang player. We are our software is programmed actually, coach, to show the cards after the action is finished from the player.
Yeah, this is kind of automated, so but it's still a work. So you can see that after Bimby makes that bet, the system will show his hand. We're just trying this a little bit different from last night during the test broadcast. Last night during the test broadcast, as soon as the hand was dealt, boom, you would see everybody's cards on
Yes.
the left. Now some of us are used to that, but we're just thinking maybe it can be a bit overwhelming, especially if there's a lot of junk hands. So we're thinking like maybe this is a little bit more interesting in that yes, we do get the feel of watching it live, but we get the peak of the whole cards when it's relevant. So Bimby suddenly looks like a maniac because he's getting a lot of good cards.
Hmm.
So he just followed up. So he went all in. He doubled up. Then he tried a hand with ace 10, didn't work. Then he went all in successfully again, and now he's raising again. Min raised to 120, but he got a call
From
from
Jinbert Devillo, who actually dominates his hand with his ace jack.
dominates and has position because Bimby made that raise from under the gun. Uh,
And Jinbert is at the dealer at the bottom position.
right. So here is sample of yung what Tom was saying. So Kuyup Kim is in the tank right now, and we don't know what he's in the tank for.
Yeah.
Uh, yes,
His cards will be
at
displayed
this
after he
point,
make that.
we would like to see his cards
Yes.
because if he takes action and folds it, the system will show it to us, but then quickly get it
Quickly,
off the screen.
yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, I'm not so sure if the system. Oh, there's an all-in
oh,
now from Huyup Kim because now
whoa,
you
my
can see his
God.
cards with ace
Easy fold
king.
for Bimby.
What? Yeah,
He's double dominated. Right, so Ginbert's call of 120, and
yeah,
again, dead money with ace jack.
that's correct. This is the second ace
Yeah.
jack that Jinbert Nevilla has to let go. Di
He's
ba?
gotta
Hindi
he's
siya
gotta
hiyang
stop
sa ace
playing that
jack.
ace jack, no?
Oo.
Twice in a row, didn't even get to see a flop. But both times he put a raise into the pot. First time he raised, second time he called a raise, but both times he had to give it up. So lagi
Yeah.
naiipit.
Oh, the only good thing is just a mini race made by Bimbi, so it's just 120.
I think he gets
But
it.
still, 120 you can probably use later on and you not burn it. So, okay, tough luck right now for
I
Jinbert
like to hear
Villa
in
at
the
this feature
comments and
table.
from the Metro Team pros, like it's a very like for me personally, that's a very tough spot to just call in position with Ace Jack offsuit. I'm not really sure how to play that post flop.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of misses involved. Are you gonna float with that? Is it better to three bet or just get rid of that?
You remember
Diba?
we had sort of a similar hand that we asked Lester's opinion last
Yes.
night. There was a shove, and I think it was Richard was holding ace jack, and I
Yeah,
asked
there
him,
was
would you have shoved? Would you, if you flat called and there are action behind you, and the action became another guy shoves, also would you call with
over
an
the
ace jack?
overcall.
And he said he's gonna fold
Yeah.
because your flat call already indicates that you have a strong hand. What could go over the top of that
I
action
see, I see.
is probably a hand that's beating you. So it's a tough uh, hand to play, especially at this point.
I remember when I used to have a HUD and track all the data of all my hands. The worst hands
And
on
your most losing hand is Ace Jack
no, it's Ace 10 and followed by King Queen.
by King Queen.
Those are the two
Yeah.
worst Broadway hands in the that I filtered all the hands that I had raised. Those two performed the worst. Okay,
Okay, there's an all in from Huyup Kim. Now
right. Ginbert de Villa once
again.
again. King Jack this time. I
Oh,
mean, if Ace Jack wasn't doing it for you, King Jack
yeah.
still doesn't do it. So once again,
Nabubugbog si
oh, oh,
Jinbert dito. Oh,
nagdugo.
nagdugo,
He's
nagbe-bleaches.
bleeding from
Yeah.
racing and calling races, even though they're min races. That's 120K each time, and also like having to fold after you put chips in the middle without seeing a flop. Every time takes a little bit out of you,
That's correct.
you know,
Oh, he started this table with 1.1 million actually in chips, and now he is down to almost half of that
without seeing a flop,
without seeing a
without
flop.
showdown, without
Yeah,
even having a
so
chance to like play your
he hasn't
position.
been really involved in a hand, no, na
Yeah,
nag-progress.
this
So
table has been treating him like that game in those amusement centers where the alligator comes out,
yeah,
and every time it
I
comes
have
out,
to
you have to
smack
slap his
it.
head down. So he's like that guy.
He's trying to hit something.
Every time he pokes his head up, somebody hammers it back down.
So as we watch this next hand unfolding, okay, so action on hot sauce. Nobody has a hand that he can play with, and finally to the dealer, to the button position. Who you came with jacks again?
Every hand,
Yeah,
somebody has
shoving.
something. I
Yeah.
like this dealer. Pocket jacks all in.
But
I mean, this guy doesn't want any action.
would you do this? You have 2.2 million. You
No,
have jacks in the
we have
button,
to
and
get
you
we have to
open
get
shove.
comments on this. But me personally,
Parang
I would. Well,
yeah,
he did. No, Tiger folds, right? And
yeah.
he shows. Of course, he doesn't get a call. This is, it's a dealer button. You want it to look a little bit like a steal,
Yes.
and maybe induce the big blind to do something
To do
stupid,
that's
and then
correct.
go to war if you want to go to war.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you figure the big blind doesn't have anything,
Uh,
then you want to get the spirit of betting is to get called by a weaker
by
hand
a weaker
or get
hand,
a
that's
weaker hand
correct.
to do something stupid.
Yes.
Now, if he went all in with jacks, that means he's ready to go to war with it.
Yes, that's correct.
So consequently, if you just raise on the button and you someone
Someone,
comes
yeah,
back
of
all in with
yeah.
you were ready to go
You're
to war
ready to call,
anyway.
yeah.
Right. So I think maybe he's just being conservative and says, I
Yeah.
just want to get through it.
Maybe he doesn't like
I
jacks
know, I
really
remember this
playing jack
video like
post flop.
4 or 5 ways to play jacks, and all of them are wrong. So this is the best way to just not have to play it.
Uh, okay, if you have just joined us, you are watching the featured table for the day three of the Asia Poker Championship, 20 million guaranteed, happening right here at the Metro Card Club in Ortigas. And simultaneously, we have a side event, the High Roller event, and it started, but registration is still open. I think until end of level 8 or 9. Yeah, we'll have that check. So if you want to do some afternoon poker action, as we see Lee Shock, aka Tiger, shoving all in
Well,
when the hand
it's
was
blind
folded
versus
to them. It's
blind.
blind versus blind versus Edgar
Yeah,
ASEAN. It's a quick
yeah.
fold.
Just take the 120K. You got your own
Yeah.
30 in there, and the other guys put in 60 of his own and 60 for the ante, and you just want it. So that's the move. And if he happens to have a hand, then maybe your queen
Yeah,
is a
kung
three outer.
nakatapak siya nun kay Edgar ASEAN, di wala, di ba? Eto minsan yung tanong that whether you is it will it be an all in or maybe a race has the same effect as an all in if it is
Oh,
a
his
blind
stack is
versus
so
blind
short. If he raises to
position.
120 with his 500K,
Yeah, so that's
he might
the
get called and then be lost.
consideration.
If figure like let's just go for it because statistically most of the time he's not gonna have a hand to call with. So if let's say he only has hand to call with like 15% of the time,
Yeah.
then 85% of the time he's getting that. So he's just making a move because he has to. And if you want to make that final table, you gotta chip up. Can't just fold your way to it. Although this BB anti format is favors tight players because you got all these free hands without having to put out any chips to try to get something. Blinds are 30K, 60K, BB anti. Action is on Tiger on the dealer button. It's folded to him.
Does he have a hand that he wanna go
Last
do
time,
it again? No.
last time he had jacks. Uh,
No, his last shot was Queen 4 because it's
oh yeah,
blind versus blind. But he is
yeah, it was queen.
contemplating.
That's right. It was queen four. Well, you want to just steal it, just go ahead and shove it. So
That's
we are
right.
going to see his hand once he takes action.
Yes, that's how.
We're going to request the tech team to see if there's an adjustment we can make where we can see the hand once it is on him, not after his
Yes.
action. If the action is on him, we'd like to see his hand. That would give us more than enough time to comment on what
Yeah.
he could be thinking. Right, so right now we're waiting to see what he's thinking about. He's stacking up over and over like he
Mhm.
wants to go all in. Yep.
But decided against it,
Yeah, he made his
and
list and he checked it
he has
twice.
pocket threes.
Yeah, we saw it briefly. Pocket
Yeah,
threes
pocket
there.
threes. Oh, maybe that's a hand. He could have.
Given his chip stack, he can just go on for a shove on it.
Yeah.
But maybe he can feel things that we're not feeling because he's sitting at the table.
Yes.
Like sometimes you just need to feel the table, and the table is shaking. Somebody's in Tagalog, nagkukuyakoy. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is in English, but there's some kind of energy release. Like this guy right now in the small blind.
Wait, we have an all in and a
Yes,
call, blind versus
yeah.
blind.
I was just saying,
Edgar
like,
Asian with King Queen offsuit, and Ron Messina. We have yet to see his hand here.
yeah, I was talking about yung koyakoy, and you could clearly see it on your screen,
Yeah.
and that's definitely can be felt by the player
And
next to
Ryan
you.
Messina, now we can see his hand. It's pocket nine. This is a flip.
Wow. So yeah, ito yung naramdaman ni
Oo.
Tiger.
Eto, dalawang tao pero parehong mintes. Jacks, open-ended. Nine is out of the
It's
question because
a
if
ton
he
of
hits
outs for
nine,
Edgar Asian here. All the overcards are good. Even the nine is good.
oh!
The ace was good.
And he hit the hand that he needed,
Yeah.
a king to
Yeah,
double up.
the damning outs. The king, the
Oo.
queen, even the nine.
Hindi, yung nine, di na
No, the
niya
nine
out
makes
eh.
a full house. The
Yeah,
king, the queen, and the ace.
and the
No?
eight, that's correct. So
That's it.
there you go. Edgar Asihan with much needed double up. This is one of the more decorated players also from our
I think it was the final table the last
local.
time we did APC.
Was he?
I think he was on that
Oh,
table.
okay. What I know from Edgar Sen is he's being a lot of online and live tournaments. So this is a very familiar name as far as tournament accomplishments are concerned. So now the dealer is just making sure that
Yeah, paying out
she paid the
844K.
correct
This
amount
is
to Edgar
classic though.
Sen.
This is like even if you go back to when we were first learning poker, watching it on TV, two overcards and a pocket pair. That's how
Yeah,
tourneys go. And
that's
you gotta win
bowling.
these flips. You win these flips to proceed, and if you don't, then it's just how you played it. That's the best way to play it.
Yeah.
To get all the money in with as
Uh,
much equity as you
but at
have.
least as we can see, Ron Messina, weathered the hit of that loss. He's still sitting on 2 million in
Oh yeah,
chips.
yeah. He started our broadcast started with him having the most chips at 2.4. So he could take that hit, but of course you don't want to double up short stacks who can threaten you later. But he had to take a shot at busting him out because yung range ng small blind versus big blind, that shove could have been queen four, could have been a decent hand, could have been garbage. So pocket nines was definitely in the area of calling for that.
Okay.
So see hot sauce Jack six not getting adventurous. He got a big payout in case you missed it when he turned a higher four card straight and got his opponent to pay him a million chips for it. So that's why he's now the chip leader at this table.
Okay, as we see now, action is on Hu Yup Kim. Is acting from under the gun plus one position, and
Uh, yep.
he
Yeah, it looks
races.
like 105,000. It can't be 105, like 125. No, 145s. 135.
So we
Okay.
can see the hand now that he raced with. It's a king jack offsuit. Action now is going around the table down to Edgar Asehan
King Jack. You can
at
race
the
with it, but you can
bottom
never call with it.
position. Yeah.
Thinking about it, huh? He's just coming off a double up. Pahinga muna.
And he doesn't want to mess around with his double up, especially with the nine deuce offsuit hand.
Okay, action the big blind,
So
nothing there.
Jinbert Divide will also surrender his big blind. So easy scoop for Hu Yup Kim, who's proving to be uh, the more active players from the foreigner side, no,
Well,
in this
he
feature
has the chips
table.
for it. He started this table with 2.1 million. He took a hit here and there, but he can stay active because the blinds are now like just 30, 60. So 2 million is a hell of a lot of chips to play
That's
with. That's
correct.
more
Yeah,
than what 30, 35 BBs.
yeah. So
June 6 to 12, Independence Day tomorrow. That's the final table for this APC main event.
yeah, the Magic Eight, the Super Eight, the Ultimate Eight.
Ano ba
Ano pa ba?
ba?
As we see action on Bimby is pondering maybe a race here.
He's got a lot of good cards, so you'd think he should
Yeah.
have like 10 million by now with the kind of cards he's had. Diba? Pocket 10s, kings,
Yeah.
suited
But he
aces.
started out pretty much
I think I heard him
short
say all
stack, and
in.
now
Yeah, he
yeah,
said
he's
all in.
gesturing his all in with the same hand
Right.
that Huyop Kim raises in the previous
Ang
hand. This
daming
is King
dadaanan
Jack
nito.
offsuit. Oo, tapang nitong tulak
Oh,
na to
this
ni
is under
Bimby.
the gun plus one. All in is just really saying I just want what's inside
Yeah.
in the middle because I definitely don't want to be flipping with this.
Yung mga ganitong shove, mga timing yan eh, di ba?
Yeah,
Oo.
basically it gets a feel of the table. Some players can read if the rest of the field acting after him doesn't seem interested in their cards. If you get that feeling, then why not go for the steal? But definitely, you're not doing this to get called because anything that calls this is ahead of
Oh, yeah,
King Jack. You're
definitely.
not gonna get called by King Ten,
By
even
King
even King
10 or
Ten
King
suited.
9. So definitely. And Edgar Asihan is taking time. He's
Yeah, grabe. I
yeah.
mean, you gotta have a really good read on all the players to your left to pull this off from
Yeah,
under the
yeah,
gun
that's
plus one.
correct. Oh,
You
that's why
you
it's
you
very
gotta have
gutsy.
that confidence that nobody is interested in their hand.
Well, if
And
there's one thing that from experience, if there's one thing that Maxwell Rosette, Bimbi Rosette is short of, it's not guts. this
very
is this
gutsy.
is this guy is a very gutsy player.
It'd be cool though if when he shoved his king, someone called and they saw it, so that adds to his image. That don't mess with his
Yeah.
races. Uh,
And he'll be successful. He's gonna take this down.
and,
Oh,
only
there's
hot sauce.
another
Now
hot sauce on the
this
big
is
blind.
800k. It's not very affordable. It's not like 300k where you can maybe try to call with live cards and see what's going
Yeah.
on. So hot sauce has to consider
Ang laki pala
Bimbi's
ng tinulak
range.
ni Bimbi
Oh,
dito.
it's huge. I
800, no?
mean, for you to
Wow.
do that, and that's something Hot Sauce will have to think about. Like, why
Mm,
would you do that with 816 when you can go 120,
yeah.
150, 135? He flips it up.
And if
That means you
flips,
should be
that's just
folding it.
folding. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you
that's
can turn
why.
up your hand. Looked like it had an
And what
ace in
did he
it.
have?
Ace
Ace Jack.
Jack.
Wow.
Brilliant. Brilliant move. I
Wow.
mean,
Oo, hindi. See, it's enough to make Ace Jack folds. Kasi tama nga naman.
ang daming
It's,
dadaanan. It had
oh,
to be strong, right?
uh,
Sobrang daming
can't
dadaanan.
really call a shove with Ace Jack offsuit.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you're keeping track, Ace Jack is what, like 0 for 3?
Yeah.
Make an
Kay
argument.
Gilbert pa lang 2-0 to na
Oh,
eh,
make an
no?
argument for never playing that hand.
Mm.
Let's see if Ace Jack is the goat of this coverage. Okay, so there are seven players remaining on this featured table. The other eight, we have to check kung walo pa rin yung kabila, ano?
Yeah, we're just to give a heads up to our viewers. After every two levels, we will be switching tables.
Right.
So after two levels, you'll be later on you'll be able to see the action for the other table. They will be the ones that will be placed here in our featured table. That's
Right,
RFID
and we're
enabled, and
excited.
that table actually has the great Mike
That's right.
Takayama
That's
in it.
right. We have some greats on this table as well, but of course everyone would love to see
Yeah,
Mike Takayama's whole cards.
and how he plays it.
Oo.
Okay, back to the action here in our featured table. At the hijack position, Edgar ASEAN just opened with a raise,
Yeah.
double the big blind with ace four offsuit. The action
Ginbert de
now,
Villas bled. I mean, he
yeah,
started with 1.1 million.
now is down, and that's correct.
Tried to play a hand a few times. Two ace jacks and a king jack. None
Yes,
of none of them even saw the flop. So I mean, it's been hellish right now. It's
yes.
it's a kind of you just want to stand up and jog around the table maybe two times, turn your shirt inside out. Maybe something will change. But to bleed from 1.1 to 500,000 in basically a level of play. Uyup Kim folds a really speculative hand in the big blind and success for Edgar Asehan. We're gonna move on to the next hand.
Okay, we have just received a feed that currently we're down to 14 players.
Wow, we are in pay jump
So, oh
territory.
yeah, that's why probably all the players are conscious of this. They don't wanna, they
What is
as
the
much
pay
as
jump?
possible.
What is 13 payout?
From 200, it's gonna jump up to 240, so it's a 40,000
And is it
difference.
just 13th or
13th up to 11th.
so 11 to 13, 40K more. So
Yes.
that's something. You could fold and earn 40K just by someone busting out on another table or within your table on the same hand. Edgar Asean once again with that ace X hand. Not quite late position. Last time was hijack. Now it's under the gun plus one. We are seven-handed. It's going down, down, down the table. Nobody's
Yeah.
interested. Down to the big blind. And he folds Bimby with queen four. So two pots uncontested in a row. That's a gain of 150K each time. So 300K over two hands ang kinita.
Oo, ni Edgar Asihan doon sa kanyang mga galaw na yon. Okay, just to answer a comment from RD Joanna Mariano, one of our live stream viewers, she's asking or he's asking how many players left. So
Right.
as we have mentioned, we're down to the last 14 players, and this so far the next person who will exit is guaranteed 200,000, and that's gonna signal also the shift in the payout. It's gonna
Right.
jump to 240 after the 14 player exits. So
Dude, just folding and having someone busting out. What's that? You're on your way to another iPhone.
yeah.
40K.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
So
not an iPhone, maybe
but
an iPad mini.
at 40, yeah, I
Uh,
how much is an iPhone right now?
a new one,
The new one
you
would be
gotta have like
around
60 to
80. Yeah,
70. Yeah,
60,
yeah.
I
You can
think
get
60 to
iPad
80.
mini, the latest
Yeah,
iPad mini
iPad
for
mini, yes,
33.
around 33,
Yeah, and used to
34 or
7K
40, yeah.
for.
But that's still an iPad mini. So we see action now on Ron Messina. He is in the early position under the gun plus one. And we see him, yeah, racing to
Okay,
150K with pocket eights.
150K has worked twice already for Edgar Garcia, so he's figuring, okay, if this is the threshold, if people are folding for 150, then let's keep it 150. He's got a lot of chips in front of him. Ginbert Deville is thinking long and hard. I mean, is it time to try to make something work? Nothing has worked for him so far. Every time he tried to enter a pot, he got smacked right out of it.
And I'm not so sure if you still want to make a call
Hindi na,
here at
hindi
this
na.
position, di
Oh.
ba?
This time maybe he
Kanina
should
pa
be the one
eh.
shoving if he wants to play
Yeah.
this. It hasn't worked out. So,
Wow, he threw ace queen
wow,
of
right?
wow. So
He
yun na yung naging epekto sa kanya nung pag-bleed
I
niya,
don't know,
no?
but we need
Ace
to read from
jack,
we need to
ace.
hear in the comments. Guys, please comment on that. What would you
Wow.
have done? Take away the history that nothing has worked, that he's chipped down, ace
Oh.
jack, he's been three bet a lot. Just
He's actually in early middle
yeah,
position.
just in a vacuum with 60K blinds and 500K in chips, someone opens for 150. Are you
Yeah.
throwing that away? Are you shoving it and you're waging your tourney life on it? Ang racer nun was Ron Ryan
Ron
Messina,
Messina.
who had a ton of chips, one of the chip
Yes.
leaders at this table. Interesting.
Oh.
So threshold for calling is so much higher. I mean, we've seen him open with King Jack offsuit, Ace Jack offsuit, but he won't call with Ace Queen offsuit. And this is not even a call of a shove, diba?
Yeah.
He's just facing like an open, and he had position.
So there you go.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. What a lay down from Ginbert de Villa.
Maybe he wasn't feeling it, siguro sabi niya, after the break na ako
Eto
gagalaw.
na, tumulak na siya.
Oh, now he does it.
Now, let's see what he was comfortable shoving with.
Oh my
He shoves
goodness.
with ace 9
Right,
offsuit
right.
after laying down ace queen off.
Well,
Pero ito,
it's called first invigorish,
yeah,
but this one he's just trying to steal the 150. You don't want to get called here. Whereas with the ace queen, even if you don't get called, you're taking the dead money in a 150.
yeah,
And if you do get called, you're still racing. So, I mean, if he was gonna make this move with ace nine with nothing in the middle,
that's correct.
it's a pure steal. He doesn't want to get called. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Once again, they're the ones sitting at the table, so
Yeah,
they're
we're not.
feeling
So
things, they're seeing
yeah, we
things that
can't
we don't.
really.
They're smelling
Uh,
fear, or they're
just a
they're seeing
disclaimer
whatever.
to everybody watching: we're just commenting based on our experience. We're in no way better than these guys. Yeah, we defer to them how they have used
Yeah,
their
like
skills to reach this
remember when Tiger
position.
had pocket threes, diba? Pero
Yeah.
in that case, like sometimes you can see if you watch, nakita mo nga kumukuya ko yung katabi, and that's always a signal that
Yes.
he's about to do something.
He
So,
sensed something there.
oh,
The vibe was not right. So there you go. But
this one works out. It works
Jinbert
out.
was successful, yeah, with that shove. Nobody really want to tangle with an all-in pre-flop. They don't have the
Very
benefit
nice.
of what we
Very
see.
nice sequence because he doesn't lose anything by folding ace queen, and now he gains
Yes.
150 from stealing with ace nine. So they should pump him up a bit.
So we have a comment in response to our question earlier from Kirsten Velasquez. I understand he fold ace queen kasi easy call yun sa 2M chips. Ngayon, shove siya ace 9 kasi gusto niya mag-shove to look strong. That's the
Flo, baka sila
and we
naglolol. Dahil sa ace queen.
maybe that part.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I
first
think the
comment.
lol. Oo, maraming nag-LOL dun sa ace
Uh,
queen fold, but yun nga, once again, diskarte niya yan. I mean, he figured ayoko mag-flip. 'Di ba? Gusto ko magnakaw na lang
and
ako with first in figures.
BJ Carbonell inserted something to think about. He said, good
Oh,
fold for the next pay
tama.
jump. Ikaw talaga tira
Yeah.
pasok. Hindi
Fold.
naman natin sinasabing it's a bad
Sa
fold.
bagay.
We're not
No, no,
saying
no. I'm
that.
just saying it's an interesting
It's an
fold because
interesting
there's a
fold.
lot of things going on na that's not in our mindset.
Yes.
That can be in his
So
mindset.
okay,
So
so we
every
have
poker player.
shout out to Flo Campomanes is watching.
Low.
Yeah, and also Paula Dalupan. And Tom Perez agrees with that earlier comment. If we're trying to make the pay jump,
Yeah. Okay.
fold. If you're
Thank
playing to
you.
win,
Thank
go for
you.
it. There you go.
Thank you for the comments because we
Yeah.
were talking about the pay jump and a
Mm,
40k fold.
yeah.
Diba? What could be a 40k
And
fold?
G Gonzalez says 80% shove, 20% fold. So
Thanks for the
we're
comments,
getting
guys.
contrasting comments, but yeah, again, this is a disclaimer. We're not saying when we make a comment, we're not saying it's the wrong or right move for the player. We're not in a position to say that. What we're saying is it's interesting for us. The same way it's interesting for you.
The ladies would have gone with the ace queen, ha? Si
Yeah.
Paul at saka si
Si
Lynn.
Lynn Joy, si Junalyn Bartolome. Yeah, well, here's a comment from Flo Campomanes. It's a bad fold. Let's not justify it with pay jumps getting more chips equates to you getting deeper in the tourney.
Yon,
That's a
Flo.
contrasting point from our one of our decorated local poker
Dude,
players.
go to Hendon Mob Poker Database and filter the
Yes,
Philippines. You'll find Flo.
there you go.
He's up there.
Okay, Apling Pamplona, shout out po mga idol. God bless. Ano? Ayan, oh, shout out sa iyo Apling Pamplona. And Jano Alvarez agrees with some of with what Flo is saying. He's saying folding for the pay jump will not
Yeah,
win you
Jano.
the
Oh.
whole thing.
This
Yeah,
is a
that's
guy who's gone deep in the big ones, si
yes.
Jano.
So there you go. Interesting
And I'm sure during the
comments.
break, he'll be talking to his boys din. Alam mo
Uh,
naman tayo dito sa Metro, pag break, mag-usap sa
mm,
agdanan about this hand. So, very interesting hand. Dito tayo. Si Huyup Kim has raised from UTG +1. Ang daming early position raisers dito.
oo.
King Jack.
And paborito nila yung King Jack also tayo in fairness. Ha?
Okay, Ryan Messina is on the
Yeah.
small blind. Ang lalalim, no?
And the fact that he's tanking right now is, oh, well, he let go of it.
Well, once
So,
again, the only guy who can bust you. That's not someone to mess with.
mhm.
Ginbert de Villa doesn't have
And big
anything
blind,
here,
so he's gonna
and
fold.
success for King Jack. Yep, Jack 6 of hearts. No good there. Tatlo na ang may 2 million, and Edgar
Oo.
San is also closing in. We kind of compressed uh, the chips. Kanina, there were only 2 guys with 2 million, a bunch of guys with 1. So now some of the short stacks got shorter.
Mm.
Of course, we also lost a player. So nagkalat yung chips ng the player we lost was Dehan Lee, and he had 1 million chips.
Okay, we're back to the action here. For those who have joined us, welcome to the live coverage of the Asia Poker Championship coming to you from the Metro Card Club, the home of Philippine Poker Champions in collaboration with KMGM, the Korean Mind Game Members Group. And I am here, Tira Pasok with Coach Ron Regis.
And we
Ayan.
are with you. Lahat ng nagko-comments, all 155 right now, 155 eyeballs. Thank you for
Oo.
spending your afternoon
And
with us
ve-
here.
and very very active in the comment section,
Dude,
commenting in our action as
this is definitely
uh,
like we are not regretting that we are bringing this to you. We are commenting on the game, 10 minutes delayed. Up, I'll finish that thought later. Ginbert de Villa's gone all in.
with pocket nines as we
Small blind
see it.
versus big blind, no? So
Yeah.
he's not gonna get a. Oh, he might
It's
get a call, but he's not gonna get a call
yeah,
from Hot
he's
Sauce.
we Hatsas already folded.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, we made
Uh
a decision
mm
that we last night we were doing a test broadcast where we were commenting on the live action, but then all everything you were seeing was 15 minutes after we had already commented it. So
Yes.
today we made an adjustment where we're commenting on the delayed feed, the same feed you are seeing.
Whatever you're watching
Yeah.
right now, and as you can see, we are the players are now under on a break, so there's gonna be a lull in the action, but let's take time to read our comments. Ito si Marco Vicente, sabi niya mas lalong naging interesting ang decision making. This still the hand of Ginbert kasi tumapon siya ng ace queen tapos the very next hand
Eto,
tumulak siya ng
pasok
ace
ko
9
dyan kay
offsuit.
Boss Marco Vicente. Yan, ang gap concept. Takes a
Oo.
stronger hand to call than it does to shove. You can
Mm.
shove 9-7 offsuit if you wanted to, but you're never
Ayan.
calling with it.
Oo. Ayan, comment din ng isa sa ating one of the Metro Team Pro who is monitoring our live stream, William Ismael. Sayang yung ace queen daw.
Wow, very
Oo.
interesting, huh?
Mm.
Hearing this from Flo and William, mabigat yun.
Oo. Ayan. Ephraim E.G. Arellano, Donut ka sa akin pag uwi mo mamaya, Bimbi. Ito, mga supporters to ni Bimbi, ni Maxwell
Let's
Rosete.
go.
Rolf Leo Lopez, Ron Ryan, let's go.
O explain ko lang yung nakikita sa screen. You're seeing a screen looks like they're moving all the chips. That's because we don't actually move the featured table.
Yes. Oh,
When we
it's the
say we
players.
move the featured table, what we actually mean is during the break, the players in this table go to a regular table and the regular table on the other. They don't switch tables. They
Yes.
go to a spare table. Metro has over 30 tables. So
Yeah.
now you're gonna see the players from the table we weren't watching. They're gonna come over, sit here. They're gonna bring their chips and take their same positions as they
Oh.
had before. So while they're having the
Nagpapalitan,
break, so
oo.
this could take 10 minutes.
Yeah,
This could
10 minutes.
definitely not something that can be done in 5 minutes. Shout out, you saw in the background briefly si RVS. Maraming salamat
Yes, oo.
for
We want,
coming back strong and keeping Metro in its position as the home of Philippine Poker Champions, the heart of the Philippine poker industry.
that's correct. And, just props to our newly elected congressman, and congratulations are in order for Congressman Ronald Singson, no? And very, very good for MetroCard Club to have him at the helm because this is a guy who's very passionate about this sport. So yung support talaga nandun talaga.
It speaks
So
to the success of Metro
oo.
because there are a lot of card rooms that have come and gone, and the reason is because if the owner or slash owners are really just like trying to do a business out of it, it can come and go. Pero to pour into it yung spirit mo, which RVS
Oo.
is doing. That's why this place is really alive.
Oo.
No, it's not just a place of business. It's a place where people have grown up
Oo.
actually,
Kaya nga very
figuratively.
aptly named home of the Philippine Poker Champions. Sino bang nag-champion nang hindi dumaan sa Metro? Di
Exactly.
ba, coach?
Oo.
Oo. Eto, ayan, nakikita nyo sa inyong screen right now, si
That's
Mike
the man.
Takayama, the man. Ayan, pinakahihintay ng lahat. Maraming nag-aabang sa makapanood ng kanyang aksyon. He is now poised to be on the featured table. Basahin lang natin ang ilan sa mga comments. There go, William Ismael. Jazz Alfahora, go Boss Ron, love you. Mary Rose Castro,
Oh, shout
boss,
out
go
Bayaw.
Boss
Richard
Ron. Oh.
Castillo is watching.
Ayan, tinatanong mo kung live pa to. Nagtumawid ata to ng day 2 si
Hindi
Richard
yata
Castillo.
tumawid. Di natin nakita.
Mm. Ayan, L Rock RJ, pa-shout out LBC Arbor Town at LBC Robinson Town, Malabon. Kiray, Tere, Jazz, Rose at Carl. Uy, shout out sa mga taga LBC. Sana mapadala nyo na yung package ko. Paparating na. Mark
LBC.
Angelo Season.
Marami nang kinuhang t-shirt sa akin, LBC.
Mark Angelo Season, sino pala chip leader ngayon and how many players left? Nasa oh,
Ganito, we're gonna see
nasa
it in a bit.
oo.
We moved tables during the break. We took this break. 7 players left this table, and
Yes.
if we're gonna see that they're
Nasa
moving in
14
one, two,
tayo
three.
eh. Oo,
No,
nasa 14.
oh yeah, yeah,
Nasa
14.
14
We'll
tayo
see how many
dito.
players move in, and then
Oo,
that's how many
tingnan
players
natin,
we have
yes.
left.
Okay, we'll get that to you. Harry Passion, may talo pa din talaga ang AQAA nga, natatalo ng 2-3 offsuit. Oh, so may hugot pa yung ano,
para
yung
para may nangyari kanina lang
oo.
ah.
Sabi ni Sleeping Man, ito supporter to ni Maxwell Rosete. In fact, tinag pa niya to sa kanyang post kanina. Shout out po kay Peewee Tan. So shout out sa iyo, Peewee Tan.
So we're getting the
Okay.
names, no? We're
Bookie
gonna.
Box, shout out. Go, 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 mahal na hari. So yan.
Oh, let's take the time to thank yung crew natin dito, led by Francis.
Oo,
I mean,
ito,
this
this
whole
would
operation,
not have been possible.
team effort.
At ang
Oh.
ating third guy sa panel, si Boss Jess ng Metro Card Club. Yan, siya yung sisihin nyo pag wrong spelling.
Yun,
Yung
kaya
mga
binanggit.
nababasa nyo.
Kaya
Oo.
binanggit para off the hook kami. if you if the chip
Binabasa lang namin yung nilalagay
if
niya.
the chip
Oo.
counts are wrong.
Ayan. Okay. Oh, Box, shoutout mo, Bok, Baba Baboom, and Jaja Boom. Gideon Galpo. Good luck mga Lodi. Uy, natatandaan ko to si Gideon Galpo. Ka-heads up ko to nung unang-unang PPT for the championship. He is the first
PPT ni
PPT.
Attorney
No,
Aliado.
PPT here. Yung PPT ng Metro, the first 2 million guaranteed PPT. Ito si Gideon Galpo, kaya natatandaan ko yung pangalan niya. Royce Doc, tira pasok, you're the best. Royce Doc ha? Shout out sa'yo. Sleeping Man again, shout out din po kay Vina Yaga. Nako. Boss Sleeping Man, hindi ito si Tectonic. Nakukuha natin yan. Oh, Vina. Oh.
Nice try.
Oh, nice try.
Medyo
Ayan.
medyo mellow pa eh. Okay lang
Oo.
basahin eh. Hindi pa malupit.
Hindi pa
no?
masyado. Hindi katulad. Shout out sa'yo, Tectonic. From labas mo. Jazz Alfahora, pa-shout out po. Enigma, Lumel sa Portesa. Shout out po Sir Jazz. Sana lumakas pa ang Metro. Maibalik yung 2 times a day tournament. Every day, salamat and most power. And the
Power.
big guy of Metro, Rusty Cardado. Ito ang aking staker eh. Salamat. Oh, napaka-generous
Yung sunod na ano dyan, nag-comment
Oy,
yan, wala sinabi.
oo, the
Idol ko
legend.
yan.
Ito talagang pinaka-mimiss ng lahat. Ito,
Iba.
real talk. Gusto ko talagang makita ulit to sa
Oo.
tournament action. Jay Tolon.
Jay Tolon.
Nasa US ata kasi to eh.
Taga Chicago
Boss
na
Jay
yata
nasa
yan.
pa-comment nga, nasa nga ngayon. William Barona, pa-shoutout Carl Tan, ang taong puro opo. Ayan, Deneric Rimando, sa'yo nagpapa-shoutout, coach.
Oh, shout out
Balot.
Eric
Oo,
Rimando.
ayan,
Balot.
Okay, nagbabakasyon yan ngayon na ginagawa nitong Cubao talagang US at ang Pilipinas. So,
US.
pabalik-balik lang. Oh.
Ayain ko pa naman sa beach, sa US
Of
pa
course,
lang
ang
trip.
business nito ni Balot para sa kalaman na lahat, yung mga nahihilig sa mga toys, sa mga pop, may pwesto to sa Green Hills. Yung mga, para sa mga anak nyo, mga collect designer
Magkakasundo
toys.
sila ni Arvit.
Oo. Sabi ni Balot, Denric Remando, nasa WSOP raw si Jay Tolon. Good luck sa iyong
Idol talaga.
campaign for this year's WSOP, Jay Tolon. Ayan. Okay. Kung ayan, sasabi ko, kontakin nyo lang, message nyo lang si Boss Deneric kung gusto niya yung mga nahihilig sa mga designer toys, pop, kung ano-ano, yung mga mahilig sa yung mga Star Wars, di ba? Ang dami nagko-kolekta niyan.
Oh, yung mga collectible.
Yung mga Stormtrooper, yung
Marvel
mga...
ba? Marvel? Meron siyang stock na Marvel?
Meron. Oo,
Nagkamali na ako
At
niyan
saka
eh.
kung ano ang gusto mo, ang kagandahan dito, because he goes to the States, pwede kayong nauuso ngayon yung pasabay, yung pabibili niya sa States and then
bring it back.
dadalhin niya rito. So yan,
cost less shipping and it's in the hands already. Hawak
Oo.
na ng
Yes,
taong
o mas sigurado
pinagkakatiwalaan mo.
pa. At least kilala, hindi ka, very,
Oo,
very
kaya alam mo,
dependable.
right now, I ordered for my son's birthday way back in March, yung AI na robot, yung Emo.
Oo.
Parang Kickstarter program yun eh, which means
Yes.
they only produce upon ordering.
Oo.
Oh, anong buwan na?
Nakarating
Anong
na
buwan na?
sa'yo.
Wala pa. Oo,
Eh, kaya nga pwede nyo nga, you can make arrangement with Denrick Remando kasi he regularly ships to the Philippines. So at least shipping na
ayan,
lang yung
ayan.
babayaran mo,
Ayan,
di
oh, may
ba?
link.
O ayan yung link. O click nyo lang yung link na yan.
Alrighty.
Oo.
Ito,
Ah,
sinusundan ko feed nito sa Facebook.
sino?
Si Yat
Oo
Xavier.
naman, oo.
laging,
Dapat
laging merong
ito,
mga
the
golden
TikTok,
nuggets of wisdom.
si Yat Xavier ang TikTok king ng Metro. Ayan, iginagawad ko na ang title na TikTok king ng Metro kay Yat Xavier. Pa-shoutout po sa sarili mo. Tira pasok. Ayan, magkano yung ganyan, boss? Boss Balot, alam na this. Ayan. O, Elrock, pa-shoutout sa family Messina, Boss Ron. Go for the win. Ayan.
Ryan Messina, over
Oo.
2 million chips, one of the chip
Oo.
leaders, nakita natin. Pero
So
he's
maganda
changed
yun.
table, and we hope we'll see him tomorrow sa final
Yeah, sa
table.
final eight. Again, for all of you watching, this is the live coverage of the Asia Poker Championship coming to you from the Metro Card Club, the home of Philippine Poker Champions, in collaboration with KMGM, the Korean Mind Game members. Okay, and we've started the day with 35 players crossing over day 3, and we are down right now to 14 players as players are taking a break right now, and this will be played up to the final 8 players that will
Right.
comprise the final table, which will happen, coach, tomorrow. So ang tapos ng coverage natin hanggang huling 8
What time
players
tomorrow?
na nakatayo
Para
na
i-bookmark na yan.
natitira.
Calendar na
What
yan.
time tomorrow? Yan ang tatanong natin kay Boss
Sige.
Jess ng
Anong
Metro Card
oras ba
Club,
tong
ang
final
ating
table na to?
pangatlong member. 11 pa rin kasi 11 in the morning.
Huwag kayong
Oo.
mag-alala. Like ako, sanay ako manood ng late telecast. Eh ano kung di ko napanood ng
Oo.
live? Give me the link. Panoodin
Oo,
ko sa
give me the
gabi
link.
yan.
Kaya nga natin
Oh,
to.
balik-balikan ko pa yung mga
Actually,
hand.
kung gusto nilang balikan mamaya yung action last night that led to that 35 players, nasa Metro Card Club
Yes,
page na
there's a
yan.
link.
Oo.
Oo.
O ito, may humabol pa.
That
Ito,
it's
oh,
still the
from
AQ. I
one
love
of
this.
from one of our from one of the Metro Team Pro, Alexis Lim. Pwede rin ba utangan si Jenrick Remando? Ito si Alexis Lim naman, pag gusto nyo hong magpagawa ng bahay.
Oops.
Oo. Yun ang ano niya, yun
Papatol
ang
ba yan
trade
sa
niya.
Quezon?
Pwede mong
Papagawa tayo
kausapin.
nun.
Isa to sa mga mapagkakatiwalaan na contractor sa
Aba,
ating
aba, aba.
industriya, no? Si Alexis Lim, ha? Ang gaganda ng mga bahay na ginagawa nito kasi nakikita ko, friend ko siya sa Facebook eh. And at least 'di ba you can talk to someone na alam mo mapagkakatiwalaan mo na.
Noted and
Alam mo
will
naman sa
PM.
construction minsan pag hindi mo kilala, 'di ba?
Oo,
Ang
ay
dami
kung
na
ano-anong
nating
kung ano-anong
narinig na
materyales ang
yes,
nakalista,
horror
hindi
story.
mo makita.
Oo, ayan. Okay. So, Hari Pasyon, sana hindi na ako pumunta ng Japan para sa laban ni Donaire. Talo tuloy ako sa pusta. Isinali ko na lang sana dyan sa 20 million. Oh,
Oo.
sana. Yun lang. Oo,
Biro mo, may biyahe na siya, may
malungkot
pusta
na
pa siya.
natalo ni Inoue si
Oo.
Donaire. No? Pero lamang naman talaga si Inoue doon sa odds. Eh, di ba?
Ako, ang ano ko dyan sa boxing talaga, ang puso ko talaga sumasakit eh. Dahil when
Oo.
you see like, yung tail end ng career ni Pacquiao, di ba?
Oo.
I watched him all the way coming up, producer ako ng blow by blow. So watching the tail end of it, really masakit
Oo.
panoodin. So si Donaire, nandiyan na rin yan sa tail end eh.
Mm. So, well, at least ngayon mas aware na yung mga players of really when to retire. Hindi katulad in the old days na you retire until
Hanggat may brain function
may
pa,
brain function ka
makipagsuntukan
pa,
pa
di
eh.
ba? Minsan mahirap eh. So there you go. Eto, may pahabol na comment si Gigi Pinas that AQ fold was just horrible play,
I
sabi
love
niya, with
this.
the payout structure which is top heavy. There's not much ICM factor. As you can see, the pay jump is only one buy-in.
Thank you for
So,
the
okay.
comment.
All right, ito shout out Ricardo Singapan, Ricky Singapan, ha, ang official DI ng ng Metro, di ba? Tumatawa si Boss Jess, oh. Dito sa tabi namin, Ricky, oh.
Di.
Debbie Olay, shout out kay JC Estrella alias JC Estrella. Kiko Almeres, oy, RVS champ to. Salamat po, Rusty, sa pagpapalaro mo sa akin. O yun, dako, dalawa
Para,
pala kami
parang
ni
3
Boss
million ang chips nito
Kiko na
nasa harap
talaga
natin, oh.
napaka ano talaga nito, napaka generous talaga nito. Oh, ang dami na. Ayan, nakita na sino to. Nasa screen natin ngayon, nakaputi.
That's more than 3 million. So yeah, we got the list.
Ayan, okay. Ayan, so mamaya babalikan ho namin yung mga shoutouts
Oh,
ninyo.
sandali. 7 ang lumipat. Hindi, 6 lang yan. Oh, 13 players na tayo.
So 13 players na. We're
Oh.
down to 13 players. Pag nag-resume ito after the break, so in our featured table now, ayan. So nawala na. Ah, okay.
Oh, bear with us. Ito talaga when you're watching live, you can't skip ahead.
Mm.
So, this whole process of changing featured table, this is our chance to, yan nga, mag-comment, mag-shout out, and to interact with
Oh,
each
ito
other.
pagbigyan natin si Elrac RJ, pa-shoutout
Carl,
mga supporter to ni Ron Messina. Nanay Mita, Lolo Boy, Juren, Blippi, Alexia, support Boss Ron, go for the win. So,
ito, champion.
oh, ayun.
Oh,
Oh, ha? Na watching now,
boss.
shout out po. Ah, go si na. Kita mo may tira pa talagang pailalim pero pagbibigyan natin, di ba? Oh,
Nagos yan.
ating APPT National Champion na hanggang ngayon wala pa tayong nararamdaman na magastos daw. Shout out Alvir Ribla,
Bo-
APC Donk
Boss Alvir,
Inocentes.
anong taon ba yun? 2018 pa
Oo.
yung gosin
Kaya
yan.
nga eh,
4 na
may,
taon
may
na.
pailalim pa rin talaga eh.
4 na taon
Antay ka
na.
mamaya, ha? Antay ka mamaya. Okay. Eto, Michael King sobre Peña. Kaya ako tumulak 5 times. Ah, okay, sorry. Alam mo, Michael, medyo hindi muna kami magbabanggit ng ibang brand. Di ba? Parang mga
Ah.
ano eh. Ayan eh, o, di ba? Oo, kaya mong tumulak ng 50 yan. Yan, okay. All right. So ito, we're waiting for the resumption of action here at the Metro Card Club. Pero nakikita nyo pa lang yung stock nila. Ito, nakikita
Sige,
natin ang
basa.
daming stock
Oo,
nito.
kasi, okay, ang kulay ng chips. The color of the chips, the blue ones are 1K.
Yes.
The gray or brown or whatever color setting you have, the grayish ones are 10K.
10K.
Pink ones are 50. So they're instructed to stack in 20s, and
20s.
if they cooperate, makes everyone's lives easier, better for the viewers. So if those are 20s, isang stack ng pink is 1 million.
Oo.
That's 1 million. So
Tama.
this guy right there, 1 million, 2 million, under 1 million there, and then the stack of 10Ks behind. So total of 3.6. Si Mo
Si Mo,
Sakin.
oh, kaya pala pamilyar yung suot kasi
Si Mo.
kakwentuhan ko
Ito,
kanina.
let's go down because we can see the first 3 seats, yung chip stacks nila, although the players are sitting there. So on seat 2, yan, almost 2 million din, 1.949. That is, ito, tropa mo to from Lipa, si Troy Morales.
Oo, ito. This guy, a few years back, have just started playing poker and now he is in the biggest stage of all. Of course, almost. di ba?
Alala ko yun.
Oo.
Online pa lang ang inaaral niya nun. So, good to
Oo.
see you here, Troy Morales.
Okay. So eto, napaka-generous talaga nito ni Boss Rusty. Jess, laro ka ng high roller. Sorry, Boss Rusty. Boss Rusty,
Busy
pasensya
eh,
na. Medyo
sayang,
busy tayo sa coverage.
sayang.
Kaya mo, nag-high roller na lang.
Sayang. Ano?
Ipasa ko na lang kay
Kaya mo,
kay
3 bullets daw. Oh, boss
meron
laro.
kang 3 bullets
Wow,
sa akin.
sayang.
Boss Rusty, nakakataba ng puso pero kailangan bilang pagmamahal ko sa Metro, uunahin ko na muna itong trabaho natin.
Oo.
Ipasa ko na lang. Mag-comment po yung mga gustong maglaro ng high roller mamaya. Hashtag parang way bugas na balay.
Pwede na. Kesa
Okay.
high roller, pwede na Starbucks na lang o kaya Black
Oo.
Scoop. Black Scoop, pwede ba?
Hindi, wala na tayong black.
Ay, wala na yung Black Scoop. Yun ang
Oo.
last coverage natin.
Oo,
Naka-discover ako ng mga flavors ng Black Scoop.
Ano ba masarap na frappuccino?
Nako, hindi tayo pala kape. So,
Uli, mocha frap na lang ako.
okay. So, I'm looking at the names here, no? Seat 1 and 2,
Ito ka na lang,
Pinoy yan.
pareho na tayo dyan.
Si Mo Saking, si 2 is Troy Morales, si 3
Oo.
will be Shou Chang Kwon. You can see, 1 million chips and change.
Oo.
And then Kim Hyung Jin, and then natanggal na yung dalawa, no? The guy in seat 5 is out.
Oo. Let's
And
just mention kasi
oo.
marami nagantay din diyan si Jomac yan eh.
Si Jomac pala yan.
Jomac Basay si Jomac yan.
And then Kai Chong,
Kai Chong is a Philippine player, regular yan dito.
and Mike
And of
Takayama,
course, Mike
6'7",
Takayama with a very healthy stock of
2.6.
2.6.
Mukhang ang
Okay.
nagtanggal si Mo at saka si Chok. No,
Kasi
Yu
ang lalaki
Changsu,
ng stock nila eh.
tanggal. Nobody here is below a million as opposed to the featured table we just saw earlier na
Oo.
tatlo ay naghihingalo.
Interesting to note, Coach, you remember last night, sumama si Mo, naging ano natin to,
Napag-usapan yung
natutukan na,
nung,
yung
nung
paglipat
lipat,
niya.
alat.
Oo. Paglipat niya, tinamaan daw siya sa sunod. Kausap
Oo,
ko siya kanina.
oo.
He was correcting me. Kasi nagtaka tayo, there was a fold that he made na sabi natin, 9,000 na lang. Hindi daw, it was 90,000 more.
Right. So that's a case of
Oo,
the
yun
Gavi.
yung
Yeah, because
glitch natin
there's no way
kagabi.
he would have folded 9,000 more. It
Yes,
was and
oo.
he did have 6-2 offsuit. Pero for
Yes.
9,000 more, if
Oo,
the
parang
blinds
oo,
at they were, it didn't make sense
duty
at the
call.
time.
Oo. So that was the glitch, and so I had to explain to him that we were just commenting based on what we
Tama.
see sa
Yeah, yun ang
monitor.
kita sa
But he
screen
was
was
actually there, so he made the correction. Kasi nga naman, di ba? Alam mo, minsan nabubuyo like si Atsos kagabi tumatawag sa akin, niloloko siya nung ano doon sa fold niyang ace jack.
Oo.
Marami ko comment, but I told him, again, we're just commenting mga kaibigan. And
It only gets better because
yes.
last night was a test broadcast and today we're trying something different. And we can look forward to this only improving dito sa
Yes,
Metro.
definitely. Oo. Ayan.
Hindi naman to papasukin ni RVS and nila Chief without the intention of getting it exactly right.
Eto, sabi ni Alexis Lim, habang di pa nagsisimula ang ating featured table, pakibati si Joel Woody Jeremias. Wala na raw bumabati sa kanya, matagal
Oy,
na.
binati namin
Kababati
kagabi
lang
yan
namin
kung
yan.
paano
Oo.
siya naging balagoong ng
Oo,
katabi niya.
oo. Congratulations to Woody sa kanyang big payout kagabi sa online, di ba?
Oo, second pa
Yung
rin.
mga nag-aabang ng Starbucks, ayan na, meron na naman dahilan. Kirsten Velasquez, ilan minutes po bago mag-resume? The break was for 10 minutes actually. So siguro patapos na yon ngayon. Harry Passion, kailan po ulit ang APC big event like this? Pumunta po
Hmm,
kayo sa website ng Metro Card Club. May website po sila. Naka-plot na doon ang mga susunod na APC. I think they have scheduled 4 for this year.
for the remainder of the year,
Oo, for the
four
remainder of
more.
the year. Oo. Debbie Olives, pa-shoutout kay Russell Joe. Nice work sa live stream mga bossing. Sarap manood. God bless. Sabi ni Jean Nugget. Salamat po. Russell Jose, Debbie Olaes. Ayan. Gigi Pinas, I think the current top 10 Filipino poker players now are Magsakay, Campomanes, Takayama, Ron Messina, Sakwing, Edok, Marquez, Mark Rivera.
Magsakay, do they mean si Mark Madlansakay or Magsakay someone else?
Baka si
Sino si...
si Vam.
Ah,
Si Vam to Magsakay, si Vam.
Magsakay.
Si Vam
Oo nga,
Merdino,
kasi alam ko
Vam
cash game
Magsakay.
player si Mark
Pau Coral,
Madlansakay.
shout out to Maxwell Philip Rosete. Good luck and hope you win the whole tournament. Greetings from your uh, family here in Ilocos Bac. Talaga nga naman to si Pau. Papa Pau, ayan. Cesar Molina Jr. Kindly greet po all Batanggenyos here, mga sir. Ayan. Ayan, definitely
Troy
rooting for
Morales
Troy Morales,
yan.
the kid
From Lipa.
from Lipa, Batangas. Ayan.
Represent.
Siguro si Cesar Morales ay kamag-anak, tatay, kapatid ni Troy, no?
Oo. Good luck, Troy Morales.
Oo.
Kaya sabi natin, talagang
Oo.
Metro Card Club is the home of Philippine Poker Champions.
Oo.
Nandito yung validation ng iyong and completion ng iyong journey. Like si Troy Morales nga, 'di ba? Kausap natin nun. Laro-laro sa bahay, then nag-online,
Oo.
and now he's found his way all the way here. Eto. Okay, I think we're about ready to start. You can see on the screen yan, si TD Brian. Para sa mga hindi pa tumanda sa poker industry, OG yan.
OG.
None of this is possible without this guy being part of the story.
D. Brian Malantik.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alam mo, nilalabas na lang pag talagang may ganito.
Oo.
And himself, as much of an achievement as a player.
Very accomplished
Nanalo din yan ng
poker player,
WPT.
yes.
Unang WPT event sa
Oo.
Pilipinas was Brian Malantic took that one down.
although he is on semi-retirement now from poker, but events like this, and he's
Oh,
continued to show his passion for this mind sport. So kaya nakikita natin dyan,
yes,
the
in
Brian Malantig.
attendance.
Oh. So, Coach, interesting to note lang, no? Because we have confirmed that we are down to 13 players, so the pay jump nangyari na.
Na, may tinanggal pang isa. Si
Pinalitan.
Binalance,
Oo,
balance. So
binalance.
Tiger, who we saw in the previous table, has moved here.
Oo.
One, two, three, four, five, six players. Here we go. TD Bryan is
Oo.
kicking off the resumption of action with our new featured table. Confirmed 13 players. Troy Morales from Lipa. Tiger. No? Si Tiger ito. Yan yung sabi natin sub 1 million from the other
Mm.
table. So si Kai Chong, Filipino to?
Pilipino yan.
Yung
Si Kai Chong.
naka-orange.
Yan naka-orange.
Oo,
Pinoy yan. Regular yan dito sa Metro.
okay. Alam mo siguro next time suggest ko sa Metro, kung mag-cooperate lang man yung players,
Oo.
is to wear bright colors. Kasi ang ganda tingnan ni Kai Chong eh.
Mm-mm.
With his bright orange shirt. Imagine kung may naka-bright yellow, bright green.
Alright.
Alright, blinds up, 40,000, 80,000, BB ante. So, big blind has to pay twice.
Yes.
Sagot niya ante ng buong
That
mesa.
is the current structure right now, and that will only change and go back to regular ante
Yun.
once we reach the final table.
Oo,
So
final
as
table, mas ma-action na yun kasi may
yes.
antes na ulit.
So ito, we're just about to resume action here with the new featured table as announced by Brian Malantik.
You can see that the button is nandun sa seat 6 kay Kai Chong.
Kay Hai
So,
Chong. So small blind si Mike Takayama and big blind si Mo Saking. Wow, this is gonna be an interesting scenario whenever it's blind versus blind.
yes, because they're the two biggest chip stacks in the, not just in the table. Na si Hot Sauce lamang lang kay Choke ng konti
Oo.
by about a couple 100,000. So, these are essentially the two biggest stacks in play.
Oo. Okay, so ito.
So, we see under the gun, quick fold.
Ayan, may
10-7.
correction lang sa atin si Cesar Morales. Si Troy Morales is actually from Batangas City, not Lipa. We just made
We
the
met
association
him in
sa Lipa
Lipa.
because when I first met with him
Thank you.
several years back, we met in Lipa.
Oh,
Kaya we
in my mind, it
affiliates
was
Lipa.
always, Troy Morales from
But
Lipa.
it's
But
actually from
Batangas
Batangas City.
City.
So the pride,
Thank
the
you for the
pride,
correction, sir.
the pride of Batangas City, aptly representing here at the main event of the Asia Poker Championship. 20 million guaranteed, a cool 6
Ooh,
million
eto
to
na,
the
hand we've been
champion.
talking about ace queen, but
There
this
you
time
go.
suited,
Oh,
he raises it and he does not get a call. No? So, end of that hand, 40-80 na. So, 200K
yes.
ang naging raise ni Kai Chong. Had to.
And we just want to squeeze in another shout out. One of the more decorated local players who's making a comeback this year. Ian Marcos. Yan, shout out po. This is a guy na
Yes,
we're
our Ian
very glad to
Marcos.
see him back in action kasi matagal tong medyo nag-semi-retirement during the
Oh,
pandemic. So,
well, everybody was
oo,
semi-retired.
semi-retirement during the pandemic. Oo.
Not by choice. Julius Roque, here's a guy I used to see every day in Soler. No, kung yan yung Julius Roque that I
Ayan.
remember. Good to see, witness the growth of Philippine poker. Good job. Okay, we'll take 5% of the credit, but we'll give
Yeah.
95% to the Metro team here.
Yes.
Pero thank you, Julius Roque.
Uh,
Okay, it's tayo sa action, no? Kasi tumulak na nga. Kim Young-jin has pushed with a raggedy ace. 428 kasi. Ito si Tiger, no? He's come from the other table
yes.
and he needs to just change his fortunes a little bit. Gets called double up, that's fine. Otherwise, taking down 80, 80, and 40, that's 200K. So, di ba? 50%
Oo.
increase.
So pag ginawa mo to ng 5 straight Imagine your stock, di ba? Who's
See,
that guy? We used to have a name associated with that move, di ba?
oh, pag lima,
Back in
oh,
the day.
7 in a row, ano?
Oo, 7 in a row na all in. Who's that guy?
Hindi ba si Boyap? Hindi, ano?
Hindi si Boyap eh. There's another guy, another senior citizen player, ano. Although ngayon may newer version 'yon na nakilala na ano mga iba pero he's the guy I remember.
Well,
During that tournament won by Sardi Rivera.
yung sumikat naman for making that move at the final table, si Rene Pacaira naman at the time, di ba?
Wow,
To
Philippine
neutralize
Poker
yung edge
Tour
sa kanya ni Hot
ni
Sauce, he
Hot
just
Sauce.
kept shoving over him.
Okay. Eto, isingit ko rin lang.
Okay,
Oy,
second time. Let's see.
let's
Okay,
see.
another 200K.
Tiger
Pocket
going all in
five.
with
Why
pocket
not?
fives.
Why not? This time from under the gun, so he's gonna get through a lot of players. But this table's only six-handed because we have seven players on the other table
Mm.
of the 13 remaining. So under the gun isn't as early as you think anymore. Oops. So pocket fives, Kai Chong thinking about it. Taka iniisip ni Kai ito. He's got 1.3 million. That's half his stack if he wants to flip with this guy. Yun nga, no? Uh, let's hear in the comments, like, if there's tatlong straight na shove, three straight shoves, does every shove seem stronger or does every succeeding shove seem weaker?
My personal opinion for that is it seems for me, it seemed to grow stronger.
It seems stronger
Oh,
because you know you're gonna
you
get
know the
called if you
third,
keep doing
yeah,
it.
the third time has a higher chance of people thinking and
It's the body language looks like he's really thinking about calling it. Uh-oh, Tiger got up off his seat. Yeah.
because
Oh,
that's
Kai
the hand na
Chong!
natapakan ni
Why
Tiger.
he took so long? Huh? Was he
Um,
isolated him with 1.3? That took long
okay, so
though.
pocket fives versus
Yeah.
the Cowboys of Kai Chong as our one of our tournament directors from Metro
What do you
Card
think he
Club
was thinking there?
announces
Do you
them.
think he was like gonna smooth call and try to make a side pot, or what
Sana
was the thought
probably.
process there?
Probably,
So
no?
love to hear from the viewers
Oh.
again on that. With pocket kings, half your stack is going to cover the first guy. Is your dilemma really trying to make a side pot, or you just want to isolate and take this one,
Oo.
diba? So what was the thought process? Why
Why
think
the
so
long
long?
tang or maybe just yeah.
Okay, blanks out. Oh,
Okay,
blank
so
out.
it's at the end of the road for KMGM top guy Kim Yoon.
Sti-
He's not Kim Yoon Jin, he's
Oo, si
Tiger.
Tiger.
Oo, hindi lang nabago yung pangalan sa ano,
Si
si
Tiger
Tiger.
yan.
Okay, so end of the road for Tiger
Oh, we are five-handed. We should be expecting a player to come
to
right here from
transfer
the
to balance,
sa
yes.
kabilang mesa because there's 12 players left. We started with 543 entries, so 12 to go. We're gonna cover this until we lose player number 9 because
Oo.
tomorrow will be the eight-handed final table. So we're waiting for a player to balance out.
Ayan, nasabi ni Deneric Remando, si Mariano.
Mariano.
Mariano. Oo, that guy who just kept shoving during that tournament na nag-championship po to. Ito, banggitin ko lang, Rico, si Kuya Rico de la Cruz.
OG.
Pa-shout out Mr. No Look Ying. Ito yung kanyang stream name kasi yun ang nagba-viral yung kanyang mga no look all in daw.
Daw.
Emphasis on the daw. Eating lugaw at lobster. Wow, lobster ball sa RWN. TY, good luck sa lahat. Okay, ito shoutout natin one of Pilipinas poker mainstay and he's your
Si Jun.
player. Di
Oo.
ba si Carlos Emmanuel Cortez.
Yun, si
Yan.
Nemesis.
Oo, si
Of
Nemesis.
course. Shout out lang pala eh.
Oo,
Shout
ayan.
out Nemesis.
Neo Morales, again, supporter ni Troy ito. No? Shoutout po. Good luck, guys. Okay? BJ Carbonell, Kai Chong is back. Oh, because of that Kings, another Korean is replacing Tiger in the featured table. We have to update the name.
Ay, ito yung chip leader. Marami itong chips. Ito si Huyup Kim ba ito?
Siya ba yan?
Siya ba yun? Si Huyup? Let's check, ha? It's
We'll
gotta
see.
be one of these
Mukhang
guys.
binulong sa akin ni Boss Jess,
Ah.
na-update na raw niya yung pangalan eh.
We'll see it on the
So
screen
pag
anyway.
nagkamali kami ng basa, ayaw niyo sisisihin.
Siya,
Siya to.
si Huyup Kim or si Lee Shok? No,
Hindi,
Lishok
si
is
Lee si
Tiger.
Tiger, so
Tiger's
wala
out.
na siya.
Daehan Lee is eliminated. So si
So si
Huyup
Huyup
Kim
yan.
yun.
Oo, si Huyup.
Yeah, he should come
Huyup
in
na
with two
yan, oh.
million.
Si
Huyup.
Huyup pala. Ay,
He,
Huyup
he,
niyan, ah.
he should come in with about 2 million unless tinamaan siya
Oo.
in those few hands that he was on his original table. So
Mm,
we
mm.
have a trend here. We keep moving the Korean players to the featured table.
Oo. To be
Let's see. To
slaughtered
be
pa.
like lambs to the
Lambs to the
slaughter. Ano ba? Let's
slaughterhouse.
Pinapakain. Let's see. So Kai Chong started when we resumed coverage with 1.1. He just got a big fat payout.
Eto si Mike, ever since this feature table started, we haven't seen an action
Look at
from
this.
him
Look at
until
this.
now.
This is what people want to see. Under the
Yeah.
gun, may ganyan pala.
Oo.
Queen four of
Under the
diamonds.
gun, Queen
Under
for
the gun,
Diamonds.
the new player sat down. It's six-handed. I don't know if he's been dealt in.
But
Troy
he's
Mora,
getting a call from the player at the bottom. Troy
he has
Morales
been
is
dealt
ace
in.
queen.
Oo.
Oo, si ace
Ah,
queen.
si Sho Chakwon. Hindi si
So Changkwon?
ay, hindi. Yan yung
Si Sochang
katabi.
yung naka-blue. Ito
Yes.
yung bagong sali.
Wait, bakit si Tiger ba yun? So,
No, it's
ba
not.
Tiger yung nakalagay na name eh.
Well, we'll get
Oo, hindi,
confirmation.
hindi. Hindi yata
Oo.
si Tiger yun. Parang kaka-out na ni Tiger. Anyway, Choke has
Yes,
raised
yes,
to
yes, yes, yes.
Choke has raised to
Na-preempt natin. That's
180.
Tiger, actually. Okay. So si Kim Yun Jin, just to make a correction, Kim Yun Jin was the one who got busted out. Kim Yun Jin was the one who got busted out, replaced by Tiger.
I see, I see. So
Okay,
si
so that's the
Tiger,
correction.
Tiger has
Tiger's very
maliit
much
din ang
alive.
chips, maliit din ang chips ni
Oh,
Tiger.
this is gonna favor.
Three bet from Troy Morales, 400k with ace queen off. O yan, pinag-uusapan. Should this have
Pero
been the
call
move? With ace
220.
K, Choke calls. He's out positioned here. 995. I'd love to see this.
Yeah,
This
but
is what we came to here. This is why we're live.
yes. So let's see.
He
Mike
checks.
Takayama
Yeah, he's checked
checks.
the 995 board.
Morales gonna fire again.
Troy is coming off a three bet here. It would
Yes.
look very weak to suddenly check. Bets 300. He three bet to 400. Choke called with whatever intentions we're going to see now. Now Choke is reads him as a blank. Diba? He can blow
Mm.
this off.
Pero
Ma-
remember,
mag-
kanina pa magkamesa
magkasama,
to prior to this feature table.
they've
Kanina pa
had
magkamesa
enough
tong
table
dalawang to.
time for Choke to try something here.
Ah,
So very
so he'll
interesting.
lay down. He will lay down his hand. So Morales taking down significant pot there
So
from
maybe
that
to send a
action.
message. Now, when I race under the gun, you're not gonna get me off with a three bet.
Yes. That's important thing you have to take note. Minsan, before, di ba, there was a time back in the old days that an ace queen will only merit a call. But now, players have evolved and they've been three betting light with ace queen in
Oh,
position
even more
and making
interesting is flatting a three bet with queen four diamonds. Ah, okay lang. Oh. Oh, sige.
Okay, ito at this point because we have Mike Takayama coach on the featured table. It is only up that another legend, 'di ba? Comments on his action, 'di ba?
Kailangan
This is
natin na
great.
napakataas na antas.
Oo,
We need to
naantas
raise
ng
the
pag
standard
ano.
to
So,
figure out what's going
yes,
on
I'm
here.
gonna excuse myself pansamantala dito sa coverage na to usher in one of again ayaw niya ng dagot, wag na nga the chief
Chief na lang,
Mark
chief.
the Chief Rivera. Ito, iahan ko sa kanya. So,
Pag dagout si
let's,
Lebron daw yun.
oo.
Marami rin magreklamo. Welcome, Chief. Ag- Again, hello, Chief.
Hello, hello.
Eto na, for sure, we're gonna see a flood of comments. This is one of the reasons we're so excited to be doing it sa Metro because pwedeng biglang may umupo na Mark Rivera.
Okay. It's good. Okay. Kulang.
Ayan, yan, yan.
Adjust
Dito
kami
tayo.
konti. Anyway, good to be back sa mga naka-tune in ngayon sa ating Facebook. As we've said, pardon us for some glitches and mga technical difficulties na na-experience natin kahapon. And hopefully, we're bringing you a better coverage now now with Coach. Hi, Coach.
Hello, hello. Ay,
Oo.
nako. We keep saying nga, this can only improve because alam mo
Yes.
naman, hindi naman tayo static na ano, we are all like constantly learning,
Mhm.
'di ba? Poker players are constantly learning creatures pero ganito rin tayo with this coverage.
Mhm. Okay. Actually, isa sa mga reasons kaya ako bumalik dito is because merong mga gusto tayong batiin, ano, yung mga kaibigan natin. Kasi nakapanood ko yung review ng coverage kahapon, may mga nag-comment sa atin, and may mga naisip din ako na kailangan kong batiin at pasalamatan sa ating event na to. Ah, unahin ko muna yung shoutout ko sa Team Bangalan. Ha? Ang
Paparaise ko lang yung
aking...
volume mo, Chief.
Okay.
Kasi yung pinalitan mo, ang lakas-lakas ng boses. Kaya pinababa ko yung mic. So ngayon,
Okay.
habulin natin. Sige, go ahead.
Okay, babatiin ko ang aking team Bangalan, family ng aking wife. Pauwi sila ngayon from Calatagan. Nagbanding sila so hindi ako nakasama. And hello sa aking father-in-law na si Jimmy and mother-in-law na si Evelyn, mom and dad. Galing sila Calatagan ngayon. Uh, and the rest of the Bangalan family. And also, batiin ko rin ang aking... Okay, let's go to the action
Oh,
first,
sige,
okay? Bago
sige.
itong mga bati-bati ko.
I see,
Because we have an action right now.
action so far is nag-open yata si Kai Chong, naipit yata sa gitna si Choke. Hindi, all in kasi short stack ito si Tiger, no? He went all in from the dealer button,
Okay.
blinds na lang ang katapat, and Kai Chong had called 320, so along for the ride, sumama na
Mhm,
si Choke. We're gonna see a flop,
mhm.
side pot building na ito.
Yes. Actually, it's side pot building or chance to eliminate a player.
Oo.
So you will see...
Chief, ang lalaki ng stack no, ni Kai Chong and Choke.
Mhm,
Pretty big stacks.
mhm.
You said nga, chance to eliminate a player. Ano yung predominant mindset dito? Are you trying to make a side pot nga lalong, ay, well, now that merong ace, no, he's,
Mhm. Actually, building a side pot here is an okay strategy for bigger stacks because a player would think na hindi naman niya babluffin tong pot na to, but then the likes of Lester Edok and like Takayama and the good players, they will try to build up a side pot that they can take later on because nabibuild nila yung image na hindi ko babluffin to, pero ang reality is
yun na
it's
yung meta
highly
game. That's the
possible,
meta
yeah.
game, no?
And that's one way of acquiring additional chips. And
Oh,
also, there's a high chance that you can win against the all-in player.
eto Chief, kasasabi lang namin. That seems to be the electric chair. As soon as may umupo, out. So,
Oh,
kaupo lang dyan, Tiger had replaced Kim Yoon Jin who had busted from the same chair and yun.
okay.
Again, out. So, parang nagbibiro kami like lambs to the slaughter. Kung
Yeah,
sunod na uupo dyan, eh baka gusto mong tumanggi na lang.
yeah,
At
electric
this point,
chair.
we don't have to balance kasi that would bring us down to 11 players. So, anim ang nasa kabila. We have
Mhm,
six on the non-featured table and then five
mhm,
over here. So, we won't see anyone coming over there.
Congratulations to Chairman, we call him Tiger,
Si
no?
Tiger.
Siya yung talagang nag-lead sa mga Koreans natin to this event.
Again, no, this is a collaboration between the Metro Card Club and KMGM.
KMGM.
That's what you really can't point to any single individual. It's everyone's effort that makes this happen.
Okay,
Big
now,
event, and now you're seeing a big shove from Sho Kyung-un. Sho Chang-kun, yun. All in 805. So, mga 10 BBs.
10 BB siya.
Chief, hindi na ba option ang min race dyan? Where this late in the position, cut off, your 500.
It's still an option. Alam mo yan yung isa sa mga natutunan ko dahil nung araw ako rin ganyan, shove din ako ng
Shove
mga
na
10
lang.
big blinds. But these days, 10 big blinds can still be playable. You can raise, fold. And most of the time, since you have an ace, you're blocking most aces. You can make weak aces fold. And if you shove, you only get a
Yeah,
bigger
lalo na with
pot.
this BB ante,
Yes.
you're only getting the 200K in the
Mhm.
middle
And most of the time you will be dominated here if not
if you
three
get
out
called.
or three out or if you get called because
Oo, kasi that 3 has no, walang flipping value yung 3, ano?
yeah, so it's highly possible
Ayan,
that
yan. Choke looks like he's called from the big blind. Oo, 805. Yan ang pinasok niya.
yeah, and he's on
And
the small by oh,
ayun
sure enough,
lang.
he's dominated.
So once again, the infamous ace queen na kaninang pinag-uusapan pa sa comments kasi may nag-fold na ace queen to a race. So Choquet does it differently. He does it the way Flo would have done it and the way our other commenters would have done it. Nilab my ace queen, there it
Okay,
is.
it's
So
great.
wala na, kahit ilabas mo yung tres. It has to be running clubs here or
Or
running
running
straight.
trees, or running trees.
We'll see. Drawing dead on the turn.
Now
That's
he's
it.
drawing dead. Okay, another player out. That brings us to 10 right now.
10 na lang. So we're gonna see a
Mm,
player migrate from the other table onto our featured table. We're gonna balance it 5 each table. Because so 10 may pay jump tayo dyan, no? Kasi
yeah,
hanggang 11th was paying 240.
240. Now
Oo.
everybody's guaranteed 300,000 from
300 na.
10.
Ang 10th ba consistent jump na 10, 9, 8 or meron
Not
pang shared
yet.
pa?
There are true 300,000, 10th and 9.
9 and 10 pa yan, ano?
And then
And then
after that, it will be jumping
okay, so
every
we're not
days.
we're only gonna see 10th and 9th today because the last eight we are gonna see them play in the eight-handed final table tomorrow. So once again, welcome or welcome back, depending on kung kanina pa kayo nandito, to the live coverage of the Asia Poker Championship coming to you from the Metro Card Club, the home of Philippine poker champions, like the guy on my right and the guy on your screen, kahit saan kayo tumingin, even in the background, you come to the Metro, you're gonna see Philippine Poker Champions. And this is in collaboration with KMGM, the Korean Mind Game members. So we are down to 10 players. This is day 3 of the main event ng Asian Poker Championship. It was 20 million guaranteed, pero Chief, well over that. And that's why ang prize pool natin, first place gonna take down
6
6
million.
million.
A life-changing 6 million.
Oh, life changing
And
for anybody. Even if you have 100 million, another 6 million will change somebody's life.
yeah, and siyempre magandang starting bankroll ito in order for the champion to play more or bigger games.
Alam mo, Chief, kahit fourth place, fifth place, sixth place. Kasi we saw yesterday hanggang fourth place, milyonaryo eh.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
it's...
It's seldom na meron tayong mga ganitong events, no? Except for the ating friends sa mga APT and APPT. So, sila lang yung makakapagbigay. And it was Ronald's vision before to have a next level tournament like this. So, that's why we tried to cooperate with KMGM and other.
Oh, and this is great that Metro can put this together because yun merong catch weight, hindi ba parang catch weight na beyond this sobrang laki na eh when you talk about WSOP and
Yes,
these
yeah.
APPT events na
Mhm,
parang wala kang masalian without having a ton of stakers or having really a big role. So
mhm.
Metro can fill that gap between where we were in a 5 million, 10
Yes.
million guaranteed, but up
Mhm.
to where this event is now.
Yeah.
Para
We
sila
all,
naman ang dumayo dito. Lagi tayo yung lilipad palabas to
yes.
try to get an event eh. Pwede naman dito.
Yeah, actually this KMGM group is since wala nga sa kanilang mga cash games, bawal sa kanila. It's what they do. They bring uh, uh, bar bar tour
Oo,
winners
oo.
and they award prizes like packages going into other
This brings me back
tournaments.
to the day bago pa binuo yung Metro that used to be just we just play sa bar.
Bar tours,
Ganon
yeah,
din
yeah.
eh. And we're playing for yung mga papel na may prize but you
Yes.
actually convert somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Trip to Boracay, di ba?
Hmm.
So sila ganon din but sila trip to Metro
Yeah.
to play in a real money big event.
So just imagine just how we were before and sila ngayon yun. Medyo mas advanced tayo ng konti sa kanila
We're lucky
and
kasi poker is legal here.
yes, the
And
legalities allow
they're
it.
lucky because they can always cooperate with Metro to
Hmm.
scratch
Hmm.
that poker itch dito.
Actually, di lang naman sila sa Metro pumupunta. They also go to other
Yeah,
events
I
like,
first saw these guys in Cebu,
yeah,
pre-pandemic then,
pre-pandemic.
but
Yeah.
that was exclusive pa lang. So when they
Yes.
opened it up to collaborate with Metro,
Mm.
di lumobo talaga because
Hmm.
sila lang magkalaban nun eh. You could only get so far sa prize pool. And
Hmm.
plus you were having an event in the Philippines na hindi makasali ang Filipino. That didn't quite feel right. So
Yeah, yeah.
Metro has opened that door and given a chance. So we see a nice mix dito sa ating final few players.
Yeah. Now
And
we
it's
have.
action, si Kaido has raised 180k.
Yep.
40
And
ATM blinds. Ace 9 offsuit from the cutoff. Big blind defense. King Jack suited.
and now he hits the king.
Call, tumama ng king sa flop. Chief, are you ever leading out pag ganito nag-defend ka tapos tumama ka? Or is
Um,
it like almost always you're gonna check to the
it's
racer here?
always a check, for example, unless you see the player. If he's a chip leader, he would want to float here most of the time, so you don't want to give him a free card. So leading out is not a bad. Oh, what happened here?
Ah, wait, nagpalit yung flop ah. Teka, ano nangyari doon? Nagkaroon ng ace.
Oh,
Ah, that changes things. Oo,
yo,
yung una
okay.
nating nakita yung graphic ng flop,
King
it was
high.
king high. So now it's not, Troy is not actually ahead.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Pre-flop raise, flop bets 250. It's possible na king 7-5 yung flop and then
mali lang yung ano to, turn
yung
itong ace.
nag-turn ng ace.
Ah, I see, I see. That could be one of the things we
Okay.
can deal
Again,
with. Troy
sorry for
Morales gone
this
all in. Wala, he's
errors.
walking into it now. Flop Troy had actually led out siya sa flop. And like you said, nag-float si Kai Chong. So
Yeah.
kung tama yung nakita natin and there was no ace on the flop, float talaga ginawa ni Kai
Nag-float.
and he hit the ace. Troy
Yeah,
Morales goes all in kung kailan may ace. Are we seeing this correctly? Bakit tumitingin pa siya ng baraha? He checked it again habang nag-iisip si Kai Chong. Biriuin mo. Ah, hindi. Okay, nagre-revise. Baliktad. Okay.
oh,
So
the
Troy
action
had
change.
led out. Then nakita niya yung alas. He checked. Kai Chong takes that opportunity. That makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, now
Na,
Troy's
na yun yung
thinking
linya.
to
Kasi
call
parang
100 now.
suicidal naman kung,
Yeah, correct.
kung inall-inan niya yung alas sa turn eh.
Hmm.
Okay, so correction. So Troy had led out. King 7-5 ang flop ha. Yung turn na yan nakikita natin. That's the turn card, the ace that you're seeing. And then, response to that ace, Troy Morales decided to check and Kai Chong took the cue, hit his ace. So talagang nag-float. So just
Hmm.
like yung sinasabi ni Chief, you lead out if you feel the guy's gonna float and it actually worked because we
Yeah.
got that dead money 250, nalabasan lang ng ace.
Yes. Because it's a heavy draw board with King 7-5 earlier, so it's also possible that Troy was on a draw and Ace High could be possibly good
Possibly
at that
still
point.
ahead.
Yeah.
And to see if he, like if it was a brick
Hmm.
and he fired a second bullet, end of the float na yon. Or
Uh,
would you think,
a brick would be pairing the board like seven or a five,
uh,
because leading out is actually representing top pair, right? Or a draw. So
oo.
if Kai is putting him on a draw, uh, any brick like a
A 7, a 5,
three,
a 2, a
yeah,
3, ganyan.
3 to 4 is
Oo.
also kind of brick, but there are some straights there. But since defending and the big blind here is more likely, pwede siyang 6-8 suited lang ang pwede niyang
Oh, i-defend, di
draw.
ba? He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
defending to a
draws like
race.
that, and all suited club combinations. So.
But Troy's really thinking, he's thinking, did Kai float to represent the ace?
Mhm,
Or is
mhm.
this the real thing? Yan ang inisip siguro ni Troy. That goddamn ace, pardon my
If
French,
if
pero yun talagang iniisip, no? Ang ganda-ganda na. He got what he wanted by when he led out and he got a call.
mhm.
It's probably setting up to get more chips in the middle. So he correctly folds finally. To Chief, sigurado kasi pinabuhay ko yung phone ni Tira Pasok kasi
Mhm.
sigurado ako umulan ng comments. Teka, ba't di ko ma-scroll down ito?
Anyway, habang chine-check natin 'yan,
Oo.
nakita ko kahapon may mga comments din tong si kaibigan natin sa Masters Poker na si Papa Bear. Mga kaibigan natin 'yan. And alam nyo ako, kahit ako ay connected dito sa Metro, I'm in constant communication with our poker friends, APT. Even before we started planning this event, I went to Hill and Lori of Poker Stars
Yan.
to plan ahead. nga yung mga events and I suggested things that will make poker better for us. Kaibigan ko rin yung mga nasa GG Poker natin na mga kaibigan, sila Seijin, Mr. Sangli, Koreas, and Mr. Shan. Actually, na-meet ko sila sa WSOP last November and may mga pinag-usapan din kami regarding WSOP Asia. And if that happens, I think candidate din tayo for WSOP Asia, no? And I
Is
think
that
it's
a franchise na yung WSOP Asia, like a standalone series na rin
no,
for
it is
Asia?
still the WSOP, but then they since meron WSOP Europe, they wanted to start dapat second half ng year na to, they're planning to do it. And we are a candidate and if we can get a good I mean kung magsasama-sama lahat ng poker rooms in order to
Oo.
support the events, that will be good
It
for
has to happen here because hindi na Macau ang sentro ng ano.
yes,
We've
oo.
always been competing with Macau to be the
Yeah.
center of poker dito sa hub ng Asia na to, and I
Yes,
think
and Korea
we
some
won
legal
that
issues.
battle.
Yeah, and Korea also has legal issues. So hindi ko alam if they can do. I think good for the Philippine poker kung magagawa nila dito 'yon. But
Okay,
anyway.
let's check back on. We'll check back
Mhm.
on some comments as soon as I figure out how to scroll yung phone ni Jester.
Mhm.
It won't scroll. Pero I'm sure there's a lot of comments there. Pero let's check the action muna. Uh, Si Mike Takayama had raised, gotten no caller, so that's 200K dead
Mhm.
money, increasing his stack to over 4 million. Lumobo yan kasi he busted out si Tiger yata na bust out niya kanina.
Oh,
And then
actually
he got a chunk from hindi
C
pa.
C2 is Troy Morales, right? So
Oo, si
this
Troy Morales
brings
ang
us
C2.
to an all Philippine contingent table.
Oh, itong natitira.
Itong
Yeah,
natitirang lima na to sa
every
table na
Korean that
to.
had sat down, they had sent away packing. C3 na lang ang ating friend from KMGMC, Shou Chang Kwon.
I don't see. No, actually, na-eliminate na rin yata siya. Siya
Ito
yung
yung
sumov
katatanggal.
kanina ng Ace 3.
Ayun, ito
Oo,
napunta kay
which
Choke.
napunta kay Choke.
Oo,
He had
yun. Kaya nag 4 million ang chip
800,000.
stock ni Choke. So
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
we have five
And now
players
we're
on
expecting another. Raised already by Mike with King, Queen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ayun, si Edgar Asehan ang nalipat dito from the other
Yes.
table. Nag-balance tayo 5-5.
Mhm.
Yan, so Edgar Asehan is the seat after Mike Takayama.
Mhm.
Dito, seat 8.
Mm.
Ayun, wala naman seat 8. Teka, 1, 2, bakit ganun ang order?
Mike is in seat
Hindi,
7.
yung seat 3 ang ano.
Right now, si
Oh,
Edgar
si
nasa
Edgar
seat
yung seat
3.
3, di ba?
Yeah,
Tama
Edgar
ba?
Asihan.
Siya lang yung
He has 2
bagong dating
million in
dyan eh.
chips.
Edgar Asihan is seat 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yan, so that's the 5 on this featured table. Another 5 players are on the other table that previously were featured the level prior. So ngayon dito
Mhm.
tayo sa 40K, 80K. Uh, on break, kumakain natin kasama. Pero I think upgrade yung naging katabi ko. Upgrade.
Downgrade sa boses,
Downgrade
sa
sa boses.
volume.
Sa boses lang na downgrade, but in all other respects, upgrade. Ito si The Chief, Mark Rivera.
Mhm. Ito, may mga pa-shoutout tayo.
Again, request from Mason Tan, English,
Michael
please. Mason
King
Tan, like we said, we'll be
Sobrepeña.
calling the action in English, but sometimes we have to address the comments of the locals, and then we'll be shifting to local language. But we'll try to talk English as much as we can when it comes to the action and our comments. Ayan, comment
Oh,
ni
there
Gigi,
used
di
to
ba? We
be
were
a
talking about
WA.
15 BB can still be a 3-bet fold.
Okay.
15 BB, 3-bet fold. Kasi I asked that question kanina, may nag-shove ng
Yeah.
800K, di ba?
Yeah.
Like, ayun yung ace 3 hand. We post
Yes.
a question for comment na is a mean raise still part of that arsenal? And you said with 10 BB, yes,
It
pwede.
still can be a race fold, and somebody commented that it 15 BBs can still be 3 bet fold.
May
Yeah,
three
that's
bet fold
true
line
naman.
pa,
Yeah.
no? It's not that thinking na wala na, committed na. Hindi.
Mm.
Okay, so far no action in this hand. It's been folded around to Edgar ASEAN in C3. He's got 2.2 million. We started our coverage na si Edgar had 1 million, so he's chipped up quite a bit from there.
Doubled with 2 right now, I
Oo.
think.
So folded, small blind versus big blind tayo. And ito, inalute ni parang Jester kanina. This would be interesting. These are the two biggest chip stacks remaining in the game. And they are small blind and big blind. And this is likely to happen a lot pag everything is folded to them. And this time, Mike actually has a hand. He only calls. Ano, Chief, ang thought process mo dito? He hasn't raised this.
Uh, sh-
Well, according to
Primarily
the
because
screen,
of
no?
the stock sizes,
Oo.
because now he shows
Okay, I
the
think he had
fives.
raised.
He,
He had raised because tumapon si Mo eh.
no, I think he just called and they saw the flop, and then
Delayed na.
so he
There is a flop.
hits the set.
Okay, bakit walang hand itong nakikita natin si Mo?
Mo has 8-7
Where is his cards?
here. Mo has 8-7 offsuit.
Okay, I have to catch up to figure out what happened there.
Actually, it's a
Medyo na
small blind, big blind. Mike was small blind, and
pero tamang kinol niya lang, ano?
kumol lang siya ng
He
fives,
just
yes.
completed and then they saw
Yeah.
flop.
Well, actually, possibly that Mike is letting Mo try to stab, and so para makakall siya because
Ano y-
racing there and then racing and getting a three bet from another big stack would be creating a big pot that you
too big,
wouldn't want to do
too
against a
big to
big
play
stack
out of
also.
position.
Yes.
So if he keeps it unraised and thought, oh, anong game plan for the rest of the hand to play out with his fives? If the board
He
is kind of ragged, is he check calling that thing
he can
down?
be check calling a lot of boards there. Like for example, ace he can check call ace deuce deuce something like that.
Oo.
Yung mga range na hindi ni raise ni mo, uh, syempre pag ni raise ni mo yon and it's comes ace king queen, then it's he can give up. But if it's an unraised spot, even an ace king queen
He cannot
board,
represent.
Mo cannot represent that
Oo.
board.
So
So
by Choke keeping it unraised, pag nag-check behind for the free flop si Mo, na-manipulate niya na yung
na
range ni
narrow
Mo.
down niya na.
Na-narrow down
Oo.
niya na to eliminate these all the racing hands.
And also, I think both players wouldn't want to be bloating a big pot at this stage of the tournament where
Right.
they're both big stacks. The target now are the lesser stacks.
It's not like a cone player would see pocket five and get excited dahil may pares
Yes.
and think he deserves a big pot.
Mm, mm. Actually, Mike has been performing really, really well in the recent tournaments.
Ito,
So
we see him now again. No? Nag-raise si Edgar pre-flop, call si Mike ng 200k as he should with the dealer position ace jack.
yeah.
Ngayon queen 7-3, looks like Edgar has led out and Choque's gotten out.
hmm So since Edgar was the original racer, it's Mike who has to hit to be able to call. So nag-lead out si
So out of the
Edgar.
question dyan sa read mo yung floating in that ano, na it was a queen high board,
Mhm.
not too coordinated.
You would want to float not only to hit higher pairs. You would want to float if you can hit a runner straight or runner flush.
Other
So
ways to improve.
suited and connected holdings are the ones you would want to be floating with. Of course, if you have a suited connector that are over cards, it's also good to float with those cards. I think,
Are we playing hand for hand or
we are
huh?
playing hand for
We are
hand right
playing hand
now.
for hand. That
At
means
last
that
10 players, right? Oh,
last
okay.
10. I thought we were playing to final 8 so mag hand for hand tayo at 9. How does this go? So does that mean 9 na lang tayo? For us to be playing hand for hand?
10 right now, and we're playing hand for hand until we hit 8 players, or do we
Mahaba
combine
yun.
at
If
9
there's two
players?
players to lose, mahaba pa mag hand for hand yun. Don't we normally
Mm,
go hand for hand because we're only trying to lose one guy?
yeah.
So
We'll have to check
yeah, we'll see
our
what's
floor
happening.
man.
Again, we're commenting on the action 10 minutes after para sabay tayo. We are seeing it in the same pace that you, the viewers, are seeing it.
Mm.
So we're seeing them go hand for hand. Shout out daw, Chief.
Pa-shoutout naman daw si Big Time.
Oh,
Actually, right now I kami me and Big Time are on the same table playing the high roller. So
you're in
hindi
the
rin
high
ako mag
roller right now.
I am registered in the high roller right now.
Ano
Same
to,
table with
jogging?
them. Actually, it's level 2. So I think matatapos na ito. So I just had to come up here and
Right.
greet our friends na yung mga pabati natin dyan. And I also wanted to uh, greet some of our poker friends like nakalimutan ko si Lloyd also. Lloyd also,
Oy.
thank you Lloyd Fontillas because Lloyd messaged me about the structure so we did some modifications with our structure and things like this ito yung mga pinagtutulungan natin lahat eh.
Oh, I think the
So
word
even
like for these guys and if, even for yourself, no, sina
mm,
Lloyd, sina Poppy Bear, it's like it's unselfish,
yes,
no,
oh.
talaga,
And
no one's holding out and saying bahala ka
this
dyan.
is alam mo kahit na meron tayong competition, siyempre merong business side ang ano natin but ang priority natin dapat talaga is yung for the love of the game, 'di ba?
Yes.
Tayo even
And it keeps everything alive, keeps the players in
yes
the industry
also.
alive, everyone's benefit.
And
Eto
the players are
to the action tayo, Chief,
okay, okay, okay.
we have a button race from Mo, 7-6 offsuit, which Troy
Mhm.
defended with ace-8 from the small blind. The big blind got out the way. Eto ngayon, they both hit here.
And Troy
Uh,
will be
Troy
calling.
is checking to the racer and
He will
middle
be check
pair.
calling, I think. And this will be check check unless somebody improves.
It's gone check and call, and
This will
Troy
be
is
a check
being
check until the
playing this
river, I
for.
think.
If you're Mo, do you have another bullet here or tama na
No,
yun? I mean
no, I
that
don't
heart
think
did
so.
show up and it hits the drawing ranges.
So it will be check check also here, I
Check
think.
check na. Huh?
Mm.
This looks like check check. I mean, I think Troy is in check call
Because
mode. Troy actually, yeah, it did go check check.
yeah.
So good result for defending the big blind
Mm.
there for Troy Morales from Batangas City
Hmm.
and Mo. Mo and Mike, they're not just sitting on their chips. They're trying to make moves with it. They do have the two of them have the two biggest chip stacks remaining,
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean you sit on it, diba?
Yeah.
And just try to climb the pay ladder.
Hmm.
You got 4 million, try to make it 10. Pero cautiously, hindi yung parang marami. Like ako, guilty of this pag malaki chip stack. I just wanna finish the tourney already, di ba? Like who wants it? Ubusin ko na kay lahat. So that's not how you come on top of the game.
uh, this will be my last hand, okay? And I have to play the high
Oh yeah,
roller. Okay.
incidentally, Chief is in the high roller tournament right
Yeah.
now. It started 3 o'clock. For those of you watching, Chief, what are the anong starting stack?
Starting stack is 40,000 with 30-minute blind
Okay.
levels. When I went here, there were already three tables. We're expecting about 60 runners for this event.
Okay, three
S-
tables so far. Late
Yeah,
registration up to what level?
up to level 9.
Level 9, so
Level
30
9,
minutes
yeah.
per level. You
Yeah.
got, I don't
Mm.
do the math, 1 hour times 3, 4.5
And
hours. So kahit hanggang alas 7, 7 in the evening, if you can get here by 7, you can still make it to the high roller.
mhm.
40,000 starting stack. Any add-on or rebuy?
I think it's a unlimited re-entry.
Unlimited
So,
rebuy,
yeah.
is there an add-on, Chief?
And
May
no,
add-on.
walang
No
add-on.
add-on. Okay, so
Mm.
the 40 is all you get, but the blind started at 2550?
100,
At
200 with
100, 200.
40,000. Yeah.
So okay,
Mm.
that's not too deep.
Yeah.
So dapat nga balikan mo na yung
Yeah.
stock mo.
Okay. Anyway, we see a race from Mo
Okay, more races
and
from the
big
cut off
and
and
Kai defended with
wow, defend with
8-5.
8-5. What's the plan here?
Uh,
7-7-3 talagang yan yung mga Wala kang
Mo will be
tinamaan.
betting most of the time. Check, bet, fold. I think will be the action here.
Oh,
Unless Kai decides to represent
to
something.
pull off a check raise.
Yeah, but I,
Yeah, so this is pretty standard spot for a C bet pag talagang paired board na, ragged pa.
mm, as expected, yun ang nangyari. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see you back tomorrow, mga ano natin, viewers. And we'll be expecting more to join us tomorrow sa final table. Siguro sila Lester baka nandito and the other
Oo,
Team Pro members. We can,
yun, yun.
ano.
Okay, thank you,
Si Dave
Chief.
Spade din yata. Pupunta rin dito.
Hala,
Baka makasingit.
let's have Dave Spade on for an hour or more. Marami na tayong insight
Okay.
makukuha. Uh,
Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Coach.
okay,
Thank you
Chief.
for doing this. Thank you din sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta. Kung may chance kayo, pakishare na lang itong parang akong vlogger na gano'n. Like, share, subscribe. Ganun ba yun?
Smash that like button.
Okay.
Smash that screen.
Okay, thank you. Bukas ulit, ha?
Okay,
Balik ko
we'll
na
spend
dito.
more time with Chief
Pakihinaan na
tomorrow.
ulit ang
Right now, he has
volume
to go to
ko.
the high roller
Yeah,
game.
yeah, okay, okay. Thank you,
Okay,
Coach.
Chief. Oh, babalik na yung megaphone. Thanks, Chief.
All right, welcome back sa akin. Tira pasok. And ayan, it's always a great coach, no, to have beside you the chief, di ba? Sharing his insights.
Figuratively, literally, the soft-spoken. Di ba? Oo.
Eto, we continued our action in our featured table. Ang medyo na-monitor ko yung big hand
Volume niya
between
baba.
between Troy Morales and Kai Chong, no, nung that was quite a pot. Pero I think may isang kayong tinatry na i-trace kanina na malaking hand, no?
Oo, medyo nag-glitch yung system. I think there's a big hand right now happening sa kabila. Uh, Ito, were you out there just tira pasok? Did you check if they're playing hand for hand? Because it only makes sense that they play hand for hand pag siyam na lang natitira.
Yes.
Because we're playing down to 8. But if there's
Yeah.
10 players and they play hand for hand, doesn't seem to
No,
make
no,
sense.
not
Huh?
yet.
So, there seems to be a break between each hand, so it leads me to believe they're playing hand for hand
So
now,
which means are we down to
which
nine
means that we're down to
players?
9,
Oh,
no?
we're down to 9 players. So somebody probably busted
If
out
someone busts out,
of
that
the
will
other
be the end of
table.
this, and that we're gonna have ourselves a final table. But there are 5 players sitting here. Edgar had moved here from the other table, so we have to assume that there were 4 on the other table,
Yes.
because otherwise they wouldn't play hand for hand.
But the action is stopped now, and they're looking at the other table. So we might have reached our final 8.
Yeah,
That would mean,
we know these 5 are gonna make it,
yes,
and we
that would
just need
mean
to
that
know
the
which
4 on the
3.
other,
Tatlo lang. Which 3 on the other
which 3
side
on the other side
survived
is
to
gonna
join us
cross
tomorrow.
over. And while we are waiting for that, let's take some time out to read uh, the comments. Okay, you read that. So we have Lot Morales. Go, go, go. That's my son. Oy, si Mami. Mami Lot. The mother of Troy
You know,
Morales.
I have to stop, and before you read the next comment, I have to say this is awesome when your family is behind you. Because
Yes.
when we were coming up learning poker, you had to do it hidden from your
Hidden from
family
the
because
because
no
they are
nobody thought,
gambling.
oh, you're
No
gambling, what
gambling.
are you
The
doing? Go get
future
a
for
job.
you.
Oh, lahat
Yeah.
yan. We had to go through that.
Oh.
And I remember as a coach, like when players were asking me like what it takes to go pro, it wasn't just skill set. One of the first things I told them is, look, if you can't get your family or your girlfriend or whoever you're living with behind this,
So,
it's gonna be uphill all the way, and that's always gonna be in the back of your mind.
but then again, coach, if you're playing for a 6 million prize pool, you'd probably have the entire
you suddenly
barangay
have their support. No?
behind
So
you.
siguro, like coming into this on day one, it's like,
Mm.
oh, you're wasting your time, you
Oh,
gambling. Ma'am, final table ako.
oh,
Go!
go, go, go! Anyway, again, like you said, it's always great to have families. Oh, we see one of the tournament director, man,
Yep,
of Metro Card Club handing out those paper, those slips,
that's
which
it. They're gonna
means
bag them.
yes, we have our final eight. We will try to give that list to you as soon as we get it. But at this point, yes, I think action is stopped already because we have reached the final table of the Asia Poker Championship main event.
Yeah, we're not going to get a count anymore. I don't think so
Yes,
because the system gives us counts when
yes,
there's
that's
action
correct.
going on. So I'm just going with what I last saw that Choke had about 4 million and Simo had a little bit under that, like 3.6, 3.5. And then Troy had gained some chips from that blind defense against, I think it was Mo.
Okay.
So Troy is also, I think, over the 2 million mark. So sa kabila naman, if I recall, it was Hot Sauce who was leading that
Yeah.
pack with 2.8. So I wonder, we just gonna need an update on did he build on it? No, sila ni Ron Ryan were
Ni Ron
leading that.
Messina, or did
And,
you just maintain it
and is
to
Bimby still
cross
around?
the
Oo.
final eight? So we'll
Si
see.
Bimby was one of the
While we are
notable
waiting for
players.
that official list, let's give a shout out to Gore Revolver Kid. Monk Erdens has a question. Does 3 bet with ace 8 offsuit from small blind is still positive EB? So that's the
Damn, I wish we
question.
still had Chief sitting here because I would
Yeah,
have thrown that
we
question to him.
wouldn't even dare to
Oo,
dissect this for you.
we can try. Like
Yeah,
it's three betting. Your
but that's
logic
our
is
opinion.
you're
Let's put that.
stealing. No, kaya if he's asking plus EV, then you're just making it a math problem where if you three bet ace eight, how often is he folding, and then the dead money
Yes,
factors into that
that's
percentage.
correct.
So yun yung tanong. So that's really to answer that question is how often is the guy from the button folding? If he's a routine button stealer, then any three bet might be plus EV. So again, depende yan sa player dependent yan.
Okay, we have been given a list. Uh,
Talagang
sino tong R?
si Huyop Kim talagang
No,
iniba na yung spelling ha. Hot sauce yan. Three.
Richard Marquez
Okay.
is okay. Let's try and give this to them.
The
Richard
final
Marquez
eight.
is part of the final eight with 3.1 million. And
Huyop Kim.
Huyup Kim is also in the final eight with 2.8. Mo, we've seen it. He's in the feature table with 3.1
Ito si
million.
Troy to. Troy
Troy,
Morales.
Clyde kasi siya, Clyde Troy Morales.
Ah,
Troy Morales is within 2 million.
okay.
Edgar Asihan with 2.3 million. Kai Chong with 1.7 million. The great Mike Takayama is the official chip leader of the final eight with 4.3 million in chips. And completing the final eight is Ron
Hmm.
Ryan Messina
Nalaglag si
with
Bimby.
2.1.
Oo, while we
So
weren't
si
looking,
Bimby, si Maxwell
si
Rosete,
Ginbert saka si Bimby
and
nalaglag.
Ginbert de Villa are the two casualties uh, that who exited
The feature table.
to give way to this final eight. So there you have it, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
update what time is the final eight playing tomorrow because we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go live, but we're
Yes,
gonna comment on action 10 minutes behind.
final table will still start at the same time, 11 in the
Oh,
morning.
really?
Yeah,
I guess.
unless that's the initial information that we got earlier. Unless there will be changes, we will try and you can just
You
update
would
yourself
think
by
that you would
checking
let
the
the
Facebook
final eight
page.
have lunch and then
Yeah,
play,
oo
diba?
nga no. We'll
So
see. That's gonna be
yeah,
uh
I hope it's more like after lunch, so everyone's got their bodies ready and have a proper battle.
uh
Na tuloy-tuloy.
see. Yeah, so as we watch the Metro staff wrap this up, we just wanna uh, give shout out to our late viewers. We have Patrick Cañete from Cebu watching us, Juan Paulo de la Peña, Jazz Alfajora, and Richard Manalo. Yeah, that's the problem. Gising ka ng maaga. Ito ang problema natin. Kung magigising tayo ng maaga, alas 11, patay tayo nito.
If you can't wake up, stay up. O yan.
Oo,
That's our
that's
advice.
the ano.
Okay, alam naman mag-comment pa tayo
Oo, wala na. So well,
sa pag-clean up ng table.
yes, that
So,
ano yan, so that does it for our live stream coverage of day 3 of the main event of the Asia Poker Championship happening here at the Metro Card Club. And we have the final 8. You will see the official list. Just maybe this is a good time for you to like and follow the Facebook page of Metro Card Club and even check out their website because I'm pretty sure this information will be there and other information as to the official time of when will we resume tomorrow. Okay, so magpapaalam na po kami in behalf of the Chief, Mark Rivera, and Coach Ron here. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Tira Pasok, na nagsasabing maraming salamat, magandang gabi, at mabuhay ang manlalarong pokeristang Pilipino.